Oh, wait, I see it. Ah!
Excelente.
I'm fine.
I'm doing alright. Everything's vibrating, dude.
A lot. That's good enough.
I've got headphones on.
What is
Is it
the
like-
order?
Is it alphabetical order or? Yep, I did the excellent thumbnail art and the birthday celebration art that you see currently, and for those who don't know, I am the voice of Phoebe in the series.
Hold on, there's a... Oh, I realized I was mute the whole time. Hello, welcome to the stream. What a fantastic start. I was muted for the whole time.
Whoops!
Whoops! Sorry, everybody. Welcome to the stream. And that was Sacred you just heard. And next up, we're going to do Lockie.
You sure you don't want to do a proper introduction first?
Ah, yes, well...
Because no one heard it?
Yeah, oh man, yeah. It's been a bit since I used OBS. A few things have changed up, so I'm just gonna quickly reintroduce. Welcome everybody to the Milantoon channel 10th anniversary Q&A spectacular. Sorry again for the technical bugs. It is, as you can tell, it's been a while since I've done a stream on the channel, and we've got a fantastic stream team with me today. And well, basically my channel is 10 today, and I am here to celebrate it with friends and answer questions we got in June. And all that sweet jazz. So that was Sacred, you heard. She did the thumbnail for the stream thumbnail, and the one that I'm currently speaking with. Look at me, I'm like talking every time I talk. Next up, we've got a few other people on the team. And let's start with my friend over here, the conductor.
Oh, yes. Hello. Milan, check the messages. Hey, it's me. It's Lockie. If Milan's doing a thing, there's a good chance I may also be a part of it. You guys probably know some of my stuff. I'm currently the creator of Thomas's Random Railway Tales. What's that? I also do Mr. Men parodies. And Harvey Beaks the Later Years. Yeah, I don't think anyone cares about that one. Okay, who let this random heckler guy in here?
Well, I care.
A heckler!
I care immensely. I care immensely.
Heckler!
Oh, and you out of mayo. Is there just a notice on my door that says, "Wanted, all the people who annoy me, apply within"?
And going.
I didn't see one. Okay, we're not doing this right now.
And
all right.
So going next to our next member, who's this fabulous engine on the top here?
That's me. Hi, I'm Tuki. I make the paper trains, and I'm working on a series called Down by Battery Bay that's been in production, heck, for several years, but we'll get there eventually.
Aren't we all in production, heck, though? And next up in the gang, we've got this fellow right next to the conductor.
Where?
You with the logo that
Oh.
seems like the logo was done by a reasonably cool dude.
Oh, yeah, it certainly was. Right. Hi, I'm Steamorty. Oddity, you can call me Nate, and I do Thomas and Chuggington videos on my channel, and yeah, that's about it.
I mean that's me too. But although I have a few more cartoon trains, so more or less the
Well,
same
yeah.
stuff, but a different point of view. And lastly, we've got a question in the chat about this tiki head with dynamite. Who is this fine fellow?
Hello, I am Kyoto, I'm one of the animators for Cartoonia, and I do some voice work from time to time. And I'm also the head writer of a new audio series coming out, but that's going to be a story for another day.
Yeah, we gotta develop that story properly before it's ready for release. And you might also recognize them as the writer, director, and animator and voice actor for Jinty and Pug's Dockside Scramble.
My biggest break yet.
Yes. Before we continue, Milan, since you were muted when you mentioned it the first time, I feel like it might be a good idea to mention it again.
Oh, don't worry, I was about to. So that intro music you heard was from my good friend Christian, aka Wisteria Bird Studios. I'm gonna link them again. They have done a lot of amazing work for the series. They've done a lot of the score. They've done a lot of the recent covers we've done, like Tilly's Seaside Trip, Accidents Will Happen, and the Nothing Can Stop Us Now remaster that we just did. So please go check them out. They do some very cool things. But alas, we've got to get into the meat of what this stream is here for. You're not here to hear me talk about, oh, look at these people and look at this music and look at my microphone not being on for the first 7 minutes. We are here to answer your questions that we received all the way back in June when I officially began my YouTube career. And we're going to answer them today for what is officially my 10th anniversary on YouTube with this channel. So with that in mind, I'm going to lay down some ground rules for everybody in the chat. The first and foremost is that I know this is going to disappoint a few of you guys, but we are not going to be covering any questions in the chat, with one exception. If you would like to donate a super chat to help support the channel and also keep bread on the table a little bit, you are more than welcome to do so. That will be the only questions we will be answering from the chat, due to the fact that from June, I made the mistake of going, hey, you can do up to 3 comments for the video, and we got 300 comments for the video. So
Y'all are insane.
We have a lot.
Yeah, it's up.
We have a lot to cover tonight, and I know people are going to be here for a short time, so we're going to try and answer as many as we can. And firstly, I'm going to start off with the 2 most asked questions I've gotten for this stream, like the whole thingamabob. How did I begin my YouTube career? Well, let me tell you. I first dabbled a little bit too much into Thomas the Tank Engine as a child, and then I began to move up to video camcorders, and then I moved up to a webcam, and then I wrecked my computer desk, and well, we're not gonna do that, Tone, but yes.
You did what now?
Yeah, my YouTubing days didn't technically start off on YouTube, but it was kind of a lengthy, kind of windy ways career. I don't have too much from the archives dug up for this. I would have brought a bit more, but we have a lot more exclusive stuff you'll be seeing. But I just want to bring up the first of many images you'll be seeing on the stream to kind of give you an idea of how my career kind of got its start. So, as I was one of those kids that, would kind of they discovered MS Paint and Windows Movie Maker a little early, and I was pretty much there for the very beginnings of YouTube. I remember my first ever Thomas fan thing, which was, of course, the thing I grew up with the most as a kid, was a redub of Troublesome Trucks from the SIF days that ended with a music video of Boyzone When the Going Gets Tough, which explains a lot about my taste in hindsight. But I think the first major Thomas fan series I remember stumbling across was like a lot of the early SIF stuff, specifically Thomas the Bachman Engine by Captain Punjab. I remember just being like, whoa, you can make videos with trains and stuff like that? And it was kind of a slope from there. Like, I remember seeing, like, what else was there back in the day? There was also, but I think the first YouTube thing I really remember seeing was, like, it was Joey Turner, aka Train Boy, like Train Lover 476, his original trailer for Tommy Thomas and Friends and the Accidents Will Happen music video. I was there when that was like brand new, so that is dating myself as like an ancient cryptid right there.
Yeah, I can date myself too. Does anyone here remember this one guy who did like a series with the wooden battery-powered trains that only lasted 2 episodes, and the opening theme was
though it's kind of vague.
film.
I
think.
vaguely remember something like that, but kind of.
And it just used an Erdl 16 on wooden track.
Oh, I did not. Oh, that sounds very familiar. Coming to think of it, but oh man, what was the thing? But to kind of date myself as what kind of kid I was, I had some stuff saved from my old computer on my eldest hard drive for Crotunia stuff, and this is like I gotta check the date for this, but this is the kind of stuff I would do. So yeah, I was one of those kids. I would kind of like go onto MS Paint and create wacky things, but especially wacky ideas for series. Like I remember I did like a couple actual episodes of stuff. Like one of them I think was called Lego Thomas and Friends, and like it was just but I only had the original, like the Thomas starter set from that range, like the very first one, and like a Bob the Builder muck that could run on the track. So it was like, it was stuff like, Thomas puts the brakes on, and it would be like Thomas, and he's like in a Bratz swimming pool, and trying not to fall into the 2-brick high bridge, and then the muck juggernaut thing, like he would pull him out, and then it would be like, instead of the fat controller, you had Miss Wendy, or like you had like characters like, hey, here's this Diego Go Bear. That's like friends with them, but I was also one of those kids that would like imagine, like he'd go into MS Paint and like through various phases, like a theme park phase or like crossover phases, I would do like different things like Thomas Town Adventures, where Thomas goes to a theme park. Look at that!
Whoa! How amazing! How original! How extravagant!
Here's the one I just posted for you guys.
You make credit where credit is due. You were doing the best with what you were given.
Yeah, so it's like so I would do stuff. So I am just out of. I'm just straight up.
It's got no face.
I'm just. I didn't finish it in time, so I was like, creating all these wacky like ideas for shows, like Thomas Goes. I'm realizing this predated Big World Big Adventures, like the whole idea of like Thomas goes visiting different parks. I deserve compensation now.
Mattel owes this boy cash money and maybe pencil shavings.
And all it just goes really be seeing different days.
I keep finding more stuff. But you can also tell kind of like the time period these were done. So this was like, I think when Hero of the Rails and Misty Island Rescue first came out, if I'm not mistaken. So it was just like, just kind of like me being a wacky kid doing stuff. But the other kind of thing but like going past, Thomas stuff, we'll get to Cartoon Inspirations later, kind of how I officially started on YouTube. It was completely by accident. So I don't know if anyone ever got this. So when Google Docs was starting to, and Google Drive were first a thing, schools were starting to roll it out a bit. I think ours was called Tools to Go. So we each got our own Google account, and whoa, I got a Gmail and stuff. And what I did not realize with Tools to Go is when I went to YouTube, I suddenly found myself with a channel. So I want to point out, this was not the original channel that I started YouTube with. This was actually my third, because the first one was completely by accident, and my parents would not allow me to get a YouTube channel at the time for good reasons. And so when that kind of started, there was no turning back. And with that gave birth to the very first official Milantoon channel series ever created. If you know what this series was, I'm sorry. This was
Dear Dad, or you get a veterans discount.
This was Derpity Derp 1999's Riffing Corner. This is where this is where my YouTube career began. Look at this glorious.
Guys, Hunger Games, you put the Thomas O face over it. Pure genius. 10 out of 10. Give him all the points.
10 out of 10. Would rate again.
So this was kind of when at the time I should start. So I did not start off doing funny Thomas crossover series, because what I was trying to be at the time was like, this was when people thought Nostalgia Critic was socially acceptable or a decent person. So I was kind of like, I'm gonna make my own funny G review series. And before the fandom started pivoting towards actual issues, the big hot topic at the time was Trained Boy 54.
Oh boy.
So
Oh no.
I intended to go to do like other stuff eventually, but my career literally began bullying Train Boy 54, and if Train Boy 54 comes across this stream, I want to sincerely apologize. But it was like, it was incredible. I have the pilot somewhere, but I'm not gonna show it. It was like super crude. It was on Windows Movie Maker. The only thing that survived of it is a commentary I did and reposted on this channel. And honestly, for the better, it was terrible. It was kind of the standard, like, hardcore cartoon hero, spiffy critic, whatever.
A rant Sona with crossed arms.
Yeah, except I used myself beyond this thing like an absolute boob. So obviously when Mama Persha found out I was doing, these edgy, swearing-loaded bully videos, she was not happy and forced me to take down the channel. And I started a second channel that also didn't last very long. But then I set up this one, and I was kind of like, okay, I'm taking a quick hiatus to kind of figure things out. And I got school to worry about. So this channel kind of started. I think for most people, if you kind of go back to our channel history, you kind of saw where some of our videos started with. Like I was kind of like dabbling through different things like YouTube poop or like different like edgy. Whoa, look how bad Nickelodeon's getting videos, But that kind of segues into the next question I have. Where, Mr. Milantooner, where the heck did you get the idea for crossing over a bunch of trains on, like, a country or island, whatever it is, and then, make this before? I made the funny train things, but I was not just a funny train boy. And
train man.
Let me see, because I'm about to pull up something for the stream. You're going to see some ancient OCs with this, so it's going to be like...
Oh, boy.
So, back
in... Elder.
So,
how ancient are we talking about?
I am 23 years old, so that gives you a good idea how ancient I am. But...
Did I say anything?
So...
I'm gonna be 25 in a couple of days.
I just turned 23.
Yeah, so it was like... So, I did not just dabble in Thomas. I was not just a Thomas-hooked child. I also liked many other cartoons, and one of the things I wanted to do that actually sparked Crotoonia was... One of the things I wanted to do was like a theme park with like, a miniature railway. I have pictures of it somewhere. I don't think I saved it on this hard drive, sadly, but it was like... I would get like scrap wood from like the builder's yard that was nearby and like try and build like these crude towers and stuff or train tracks. But essentially I want to do like, whoa, Thomas the Tank Engine crossover with all the characters that I learned, because as a kid I didn't just get exposed to Thomas. My cousin had Theodore Tugboat tapes and the Little Engine That Could 1991 movie, so that was my first exposure to, wow, more things that aren't Thomas. But also kind of the idea was like, we would have like, a Thomas railway where you could ride Thomas or Tilly or whatever. But there was also stuff like, whoa, we're going to have a wacky crossover race thing where you can drive these characters. Oh, man. Oh, yeah.
My goodness.
This is the perfect, like, time capsule for what exact time this was. It's like the Cars Land blatantly inspired track. Like, the funny Gurr meme, the recolored stuff. Big Mikey just up there in the corner. But it was
I just have one thing to say. What the fart?
Yeah, so this was called the Milantoon Town Soapbox Derby, and Milantoon Town was kind of the predecessor to Crotoonia. It wasn't gonna be like, I wish I scanned some of the concept art I did on my like thing or something, or got some from my house, but it was gonna be like basically instead of like, Crotoonia, where it's just like a whole country we could explore, it was going to be like a town, and then my cousins' houses would get similar backyard railways. You can imagine how fun I was at family things at the time. But it was going to be like, actually a lot of things originated from the Milantoon Town concept. It was going to be like, I think Ralph was actually a character that was going to be part of something called the Robotnik Fleet, which is obviously going to be like the Z stacks.
Oh.
So he was going to...
Oh, wow. Wow, Ralph is old.
Yeah, he's the
Ralph
oldest.
is older than I thought he was.
Maybe there could be some sort of origins episode for Cartoonia where Ralph started out for working for BUR before moving on to the Steelworks.
I don't know. I think it kind of works. I think with Cartoonia Origins, we'll dive into that in a little bit because we are going to move on to a lot of the questions to oh my God, Disney Speedstorm. But anyways, also Caleb, your echo might still be on, but it was like a lot of the concepts that came from Cartoonia was there, like some of the characters we included and a few other things, which also brings me to another major thing that inspired Cartoonia. This is also going to date me, and this is actually how things kind of got started. I'm gonna see if I can find pictures and then download them really quick. So obviously there was a lot of fan content that I kind of started with a little bit. So it was like, Tommy Thomas and Friends, T&F, Thomas the Bachman Engine. But there was also like some other stuff that kind of inspired me a little bit with the crossover stuff. So, discovering things that was already, kind of like, wow, there's more things that are out there. But there was another series I used to watch that kind of got some things going. I'm going to share chat really quick with this first, like my crew chat. Some you guys may actually remember this, and if you do,
I think I've seen a few pictures like these.
And if you do remember this series, I'm gonna give you a cookie.
You're definitely applied for a veterans discount.
So this was
It's Bambi Tour.
the picture definitely came a bit more crusty than it was supposed to, but this was Casey Jr. and Friends by Tony Pilot, a pretty well lost series, apart from some remakes that have started to come up. That was basically, Thomas episodes, but it was like various, animated trains or characters acting them out. So it was like, oh, I just realized I blocked us.
I've always wondered how the episodes got lost.
Yeah, I think it was just like from what Soren said, it was like a lot of copyright claims over the years that kind of hit. So I'm gonna put Caleb up here so they don't get blocked.
So he never had them backed up?
Some of them he actually did. I know he's recently given some for remakes, but it's like I think it was like copyright stuff that's like not allowed for re-releases. But there was it was a whole series back at the time, and I actually remember a lot of the episodes when they first came out. It was like I think the first one I think most people have seen was like Casey Jr. and Montana, which was like Thomas and Gordon. Obviously, there was an episode There was an episode that was Henry Special Cole with Toots. There was, I think the only season 2 episode he ever released with improved animation and stuff was Toby and the Windmill, but it was like Puffle. And then there was also, and this episode was actually a double length one. It was a mixture of Thomas and the Missing Christmas Tree and It's Only Snow.
Yeah, I often found myself being very impressed by the different animation techniques he used.
Yeah, because it's funny, because I know people are expecting me to bring up Pooh's Adventures, which we'll get into soon, don't worry. But it was like, I discovered this way before that, and it was like, I remember just being impressed that it was actually animated and stuff. Some of it was masking and stuff, but it was like, a lot of the train animations were homemade, actual homemade stuff and artwork. And I think, if I remember right, one of my friends, Joe the Swedish Dragon, he still has one piece of artwork somewhere. Let me see if I can find it. I think it was on DeviantArt, if I remember right. But it was just
I think I might know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it was here we go. I'm going to download this really quick. But it's just it was... So obviously he was one of the first people that I approached to when it came to Cartoonia, and I'll get into details about this soon. I just want to show this picture off really quick because I love this. Oh, that's taking up the whole stream a little bit. It sure is Pooh. Don't worry, we're getting into Pooh's Adventures goof soon. But yeah, so it was kind of it was a full-blown effort with this, so, but to dive into, obviously, where things kind of started, so, kind of with the whole crossover, with the whole Derpity Derp phase, it was I was going after all these dumb crossovers, and whoa, Pooh's Adventures is so bad, Trainboy 54 is so bad, man, that Engines Tonight, wasn't that terrible? And eventually, after, I think, another attempt at a review series I did called the Entertainment Annihilator, another really creative name, I eventually kind of decided I want, it's not that fun doing this as much as I wanted to. I want to do something that's different from reviews and stuff, so I can kind of try something different. And that was where I have to go into my Deviant Art archives, because we are about to go into some of the very first things that actually sparked Crotonia. I know this is long for the frequently asked questions thing, but, you know, with how much kind of stuff this series eventually kind of worked up to, it's kind of important to give some history, since, you know, people have been waiting to hear the Milantoon origin story for a while. If I have talked a bit too much, by the way, I apologize.
No, it's your stream. You should be the one talking the most.
Yeah.
That's fair. But let me see if I can find the very first thing I did. Because when I was kind of debating about, like, what am I going to do, I kind of realized, oh, so I've just discovered this software called Miku Miku Dance. And and actually stumbled upon Tony Pilot, who was actually doing another series. He'd started doing another series with MMD. And I'm going to pull up a quick icon of it. I've actually even done a couple of voices eventually for this series. I'm gonna quickly pull this up. Junior, let me see. What was the file name for this? Bum 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 bum. Aha, there we go. So I'm gonna pull this up. I'm gonna send it to you guys to look at as well. So this it was a project simply called Friendship on the Tracks. So this was Tony Pilot's latest series. So this is where, you know, we went from Casey Jr. Friends to Friendship on the Tracks. And I was like, wow, this MMD thing has, like, other trains and stuff. And so I ultimately got the idea of, like, hey, I wonder if I could reach out to this guy and see if I can do, you know, my own, see if he could help me get my own stuff going. And so I reached out to Tony Pilot through DeviantArt. And I ultimately ended up getting this is where we're going to get some extra lore. This was my very first model that we got. So if you're wondering who was the first ever inhabitant of Crotonia, technically, it was Rusty. And this screenshot, which is from a lost test, this was from the very first test I ever did for Crotonia. Well, for what would become Crotonia. It was just kind of like testing around, like, what could MMD work? Could I make Funny Train cartoon work? And eventually I realized, wow, perhaps this could work. And so, let me see if I can get it. And this was obviously where Crotonia, slowly but surely, eventually got its start. You guys might have seen in the thumbnail, I just posted over there, but let me put it up onto the stream for everybody to see. So
how I remember it, so...
Yeah, so if anyone, I think a lot of people kind of remember some of my DeviantArt days. And if you do, holy moly, I never thought I was this old. But this was where we got a lot of the first tests for Crotonia. So it was like, obviously, I did not have scripts at the time, so it was like a lot of testing stuff. But DeviantArt was kind of like, you know, the forging ground for what would eventually turn into Crotonia. So it was like, this was the first pic I ever posted to DeviantArt publicly about it. And then I've had some animation tests over the years. And this is, though, I'm sending the chat the second thing I did for it. So this
I remember this. Some of the textures didn't come out all the way.
Yeah, I didn't know what PMX editor was, so I was like, why are my pictures not coming out the right way? So it was like, let me see if I can pull this up. So this was like, so basically, if you, like, I'm trying to get this up. So obviously, things grew over the years. I eventually got more of a team. I learned how to script write and do various things. And let me see if I can pull this up. We eventually went from like this to, if I can get a picture going of like a later Crotonia thing. Bum 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 bum. Do 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 do. Something like this. Look at all these characters I got now, and my posing's gotten better. Some models I gotta change out for obvious reasons, but it's like, whoa, I can make funny train things now.
In other words, we went from amateur level to expert level.
Well, I think I'm still a little amateur, but yeah, to put it simply, that is the history of how I began YouTube, and the funny train crossover began to be the thing. All right, so now that we've got the history out of the way, it's time to dive into the questions that I got during the original thing for the video, like the original video back in June. And I'd like to remind chat once again that unfortunately, because we have a lot of questions to go through, we're not going to be taking any questions from the chat. However, if you do want a question answered, you're more than welcome to donate a super chat of any size you wish. It could be as low as $1. It could be a little bit more. And we will try and answer it if we can. And between these, like, the questions that we got right here. So, let me get some music from our good friend Wisteria Bird Studios on. And let's get the questions started. Everybody ready?
Yeah.
Oh, wait. What are we supposed to be doing?
Oh, I'll be reading out the questions and we'll kind of discuss as a group.
Right. Sorry, I thought you were gonna have us read out.
But reconnection successful, so might just be a quick, tiny bug. But to start off with our first question, this comes from Kaiser Josiah the BR38. Are there any new upcoming characters? Very much so. I would like to go a bit more to... I'm not sure if I should reveal anybody just yet because I want to keep a lot of them a big surprise if I can. But in the next couple months, you can definitely look forward to some new additions to the Crotoonia team. You know what? Actually, maybe let me give a little bit of a tease of who we're expecting. What? I'm gonna ask you guys, what type of engine should we reveal to chat?
Honestly, anything goes.
Okay. So this one might have been leaked a little early. I'm not sure if... Let me see. Where the heck did he go? Where did my friend here go? Here we go. So let me just get this character in. So we have we're going to be introducing a lot of original characters in the coming months, but for another episode we are also working on at the moment, we have a few familiar faces joining the cast. I hope you guys like your diesel engines clean. And hello, Christian. So our good old friend Class 40, the Diesel, will be joining the team. He's going to be showing up in an episode that Joel Hunter, aka Geek Machine, wrote, titled Cracked. And it's a very fun script. Lots of great stuff to look forward to there. But that's all. So that's your tease of who's coming up. Lots of new faces and some familiar ones joining us.
Yeah, and I once wrote a Crotoonian conversation that I completely forgot about until just this second. All I'll say is that it involves a fire truck. That is literally all I will say publicly.
And I'm very excited to dive into it more. So going on to Oh yeah?
You remember the one I'm talking about?
Yep.
Cool. Alright.
So next question I'm going to answer comes from Solar Express Studios. What gave you the inspiration to create Crotoonia? I kind of dived into a lot of it, but I think some of the big ones that really inspired me was House of Mouse was something I would watch as a kid. I rewatched House of Villains endlessly every Halloween. And it was also seeing a lot of the fan content that would come on YouTube, and Casey Jr. Friends was the big one that inspired me. So those were a few of the things that sparked the inspiration. Coming again from Solar Express Studios, out of each episode, which is your favorite? We can do kind of a roundtable thing since we got a lot of the crew here. It's hard for me to pick a personal favorite because I feel like each one we generally get a lot better with them. I'd have to say Meg's Headliner and Trace of the Harbor Engine are the ones that are personally tied for me, but I'm also really proud of Tilly to the Rescue because it was this big production that, even with a few glitches and stuff, still came out really good. And I've also been really enjoying the shorts we've been doing recently, like Life of Livy and some of the upcoming ones that are currently in production. So yeah, that's my answer. So anyone want to add their favorites?
Well, I personally thought, if we're allowed to count shorts, then I'll just say, Loco and the Poconos. That was, wait, what was, spoiler alert. I also loved spoiler alert. They just came up with that on the spot once.
Yeah, I love both of those shorts. I still want to do a full special with the Poconos concept sometime soon, because that was honestly one of the funniest shorts we've personally done.
Yeah.
It's sacred.
Yeah, I agree. I loved it.
Yeah, it is a tough thing. It is a bit of a tough choice, but I think personally, out of all the Crotoonia stuff, in terms of official Crotoonia episodes, I think Casey Jr.'s mail run is my favorites. It's either that or the pilot movie.
Oh man, I love doing mail run. I will bend over for any kind of chance to do night scenes and stuff. So just doing a lot of those atmospheric shots was just so rewarding.
Yeah, but in terms of shorts, I think Steel Team Steals the Show is another top favorite of mine. Mostly because it's my debut, so.
And you're gonna get another short soon, but we can't spoil that just yet.
Yay!
And Caleb, what has been your favorite?
Well, so far it's been GT Pug's Darkside Shadow. Not because I worked on it, but I like working with the more minor characters for the Thomas franchise. The more minor, the better.
That is very valid. And Dookie.
I think for me, episode-wise, probably Tracy Harbor Engine. While for Railside Tales, I want to say the Audrey episodes. I love it.
Oh,
While for shorts, anything with Livy and the Steelworks Gang. And an upcoming one that I really like, but stay tuned for that one. I wrote it, and I'm proud of that script. It's very fiery.
Don't worry, I will not enforce NDAs too harshly, but we got to keep it a big surprise. And Oddity, before we move on, would you like to add anything?
My favorite Crotunia episode is probably Tracing the Harbor Engine, as everyone seems to like it.
Awesome. That's why it's one of my highest viewed videos.
And I think my favorite Meet the Crotunians is probably the Brewster one. What was it called? Brewster Ballast.
Oh, that's a good
Brewster's
one.
Ballast.
Yeah, that was great. That was probably my favorite.
Oh, you first? I interrupted.
Alright, and probably my favorite Railside Tales stuff is probably the whole Audrey thing. I really enjoyed that.
Man, so that's why those episodes seem to be really popular.
Yeah.
So yeah, moving on to the next question. This is the last one I'm going to answer from Soda Express Studios. Which character did you like writing for the most? Oh, that's a toughie, because I think the fun of Crotunia is getting to write a lot of different characters. Especially with I think in terms of OCs, the Steelers and Livy have been really fun to write. Partially because we kind of break a bit free from the whole everyone's best friends thing a little bit, and you got the Steel Gang, which are kind of a little more snarky. They're a little bit more, willing to rib each other a bit. And then Livy, who is just straight up a jerk at times. She's not really meant to be like a full-blown villain, but she's kind of like that, she's sort of like that manager or friend that was really bossy and kind of won't back down a little bit. And it's just kind of it is fun to kind of write characters that do kind of break the mold a bit. Going from hey, Livy, how's it going? Ah, screw off, I got work to do.
Okie dokie!
But yeah, so, and I know I've got a few people that have written for the characters here. Lucky and Dookie, any you'd like to add?
I'm sorry, I got distracted. What was the question?
Which character do you enjoy writing for the most?
Oh, well, I've noticed most of my written work involves either Percy or Strongbad. So I guess those guys, I've kind of wanted to do a short with them together. I don't know if it was stated anywhere in canon, but sometimes when they're on jobs, they like to do karaoke.
Ew.
Oh yeah, I remember you mentioning that.
Yeah, so that could either work as a short or as a music video.
Yeah. And lastly, I think, oh yeah, Dookie and Caleb have both written for characters.
It's an interesting process. For me, I love characters and I adore dynamics. If I go into a bit more behind the scenes for a specific episode I've written.
Oh, whichever you want to do.
For example, one of the scripts I wrote for Crotunia is involving Theodore, and for that, I binged the entire series, all of it, to learn more about Theodore and his dynamics. And as a person that loves characters and analyzing them, it's incredibly fun looking at how a character ticks and their dynamics, and especially pairing characters together. It's extremely fun.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. And I think
My personal tip for writing an episode, just go for a nice, long, leisurely walk. That's what I would do when I want to write something. I just go for a walk and just say some ideas to myself, and then I got myself an episode.
Ah, good stuff. Also, what's your favorite character to write for? That was the question that was asked.
I honestly don't know.
That's fair. I know you've written a few characters so far, so still a lot to process. Right, so next up, let me go up a little bit. So, Derailed Studios asks, will there be any more DVDs? And I'm gonna be short and simple with this.
No.
I thank you for interrupting, but yeah, we had plans for more DVDs and stuff through the rest of the year, but some stuff kind of happened. Not gonna get into detail because we got a lot of questions to go through, but we kind of figured it was kind of like time to put them to rest a little bit. We might do some DVD style compilations in the future with the new episodes, but we are gonna finish Tales from the Docks. That is hopefully coming November because we got some extra special stuff that we may have teased recently in the behind the scenes video I posted on Sunday. You can go check that out if you can. But yeah, so DVDs on YouTube, yes. Physically, no, unless we do maybe like a giveaway or something.
I miss the DVDs.
It's really sad.
Oh, well.
Like, I really like the DVDs you sent me, Milan, and it's just kind of sad that it's all gone now.
Well, we'll probably do giveaways and stuff in the future. So
I'm not really that affected by it.
Yeah, you could do cast and crew exclusives.
Which reminds me,
Yeah.
I got something to get ready for the end of the year. Anywho, next question from Derailed Studios. It said, when will episode 5 come out? Oh, maybe sometime in June. I don't know. Perhaps. And
it's a mystery.
And their question was a repeat of Solar Express Studios, so we're going to move on to the next one. This comes from Race Ace Lightning McQueen, SGB 2002 UA. And this was the second prize winner of our all-around Chuggington competition. Congratulations once again.
I know him.
Hooray.
Alright, so next up is who's your favorite Thomas character? A lot of them. A few of them are Stephanie, Marion, Lexi. Trying to think from All Engines. I will count a little bit of All Engines Go. I like Egg Gordon a lot, and there's too many for me to count, so I'm gonna let the rest of the team kind of quickly shout out theirs.
Wait, did you say Stepney or Stephanie?
Stephanie. It was
all right, cool.
It was just pronounced like Stephanie for a second. Stephanie the toe.
Right.
Step on.
So, alright, I guess, I know, James, Percy, Toby? Yeah, I think I like those guys. Sir Handel, Duncan. It's hard to choose. This is like my most favorite show ever, so I can't really choose a specific favorite character, sorry.
It's all good. I'm just gonna text someone real quick. Steam Oddity, you are next. Nate?
Oh, what?
Who is your favorite Thomas character?
Oh, sorry, I was on mute. Right. Probably Percy, and yeah, I like Percy.
A good, solid choice. Sacred?
Yeah, there are a lot of really good characters, but I feel like among my top 3 are James, Edward, and Duck. But I feel like, Gordon is kind of like another favorite of mine. If only if he's written properly, because a lot of people, they just tend to go with, oh, Gordon's big and pompous, he's mean. I'm like, no, there's more to him than that, and I like it when people write him 3-dimensionally. That's the Gordon I like, anyway.
Yeah, I agree. It's like, oh, by the way, thanks for joining us, Hunter. Good to see you, and hello, LJ. Welcome to the chat. And yeah, I agree with you. That's kind of why I actually really like Egg Gordon. I like that it's a different dimension to him, and it's not just like, I'm the big express engine. Like, I say what you will about Egg, but I like a lot of their takes on characters, and if we're going to throw a hot take, they've been kind of better than a lot of the previous series we've been doing. Anyways, Dookie, your choice. Who is your favorite Thomas character?
I'm trying to think of favorite, there's comfort characters and there's favorite characters, but we're all Henry, Emily, Bear, Toby, and a tie between Freddy, Thomas, and Bertram.
A solid group. And lastly, we got Caleb.
Well, mines are Jitty Pug, because those boys are my boys, and everyone should know that. And Aryan Bird, pre-Series 6, the Chad Aryan Bird. And maybe Duncan and Rusty. I think that's about it for now.
Very good choice. Also, Also, thank you, Maddie, for the £5 donation. That is very much appreciated. Looking forward to that big thing you're doing this weekend. Hopefully, we should be able to do it. If not, we have something very big planned for Halloween and November. We're gonna do our best to get something together at least for the next couple of, for at least Halloween. If we don't do this month, we had something planned for this month, but with the scale we are doing this one event on, with the help from my friend Steam Attack, we are going to need a little more time to get it cooked. So, yeah, I just realized people are going to type Breaking Bad comments in there. Come on, Milantooners, we gotta get cooking.
We gotta cook.
We gotta make the funny dreams. We gotta
cook some craft dinner.
But yeah, so moving on to their next question, what Milan's ramblings are next? Oh god, there's a lot of them currently in the back burner. In terms of really big ones, I have a couple big specials planned. The two big ones I want to do are the All Engines Go Season 1 review. I know Season 2 has already started, but I want to do it anyway. I will be recording one for Thursday, hopefully, if everything goes well. Specifically about a certain episode I may or may not have predicted. And for small ones, I've had a few Chuggington toy reviews from the Alpha Group line kind of on the back burner I gotta record. There's one that I've gotten help from Sacred and the gang from Levels of Hell to kind of prep for. It's gonna be a re-review. I wanted to do a big re-review special, but yeah, I think this one's worthy on its own, considering what it'll be going after. And
we'll give you a hint. It's from a very, very bad reboot.
Yeah, for everyone who thinks like All Engines Go is a really bad reboot, I've seen really bad reboots.
I think I know the one you're talking about.
You think you've seen bad? You ain't seen bad yet.
Oh, Lockie, you were there. You were there 5 years ago when I covered this.
I know. I was there. I saw what you saw, and at this point, I must ask. It is this point I must ask: if you're gonna do a re-review of it, would it be acceptable to reuse the same joke I did?
Perhaps.
Cool.
I was there when the strength of man fell.
I was there when the Power of 4 caused Judgment Day. And by Judgment Day, I mean everyone realized the reboot was poop. Anyways, next question that I got. Last one from Race Ace. What do you love about your show? Well, I love working with my crew. I love writing various characters. I love creating fun stories. I love expanding myself as an animator a bit. It's just a fun project to work on, and it's like just having the stuff, like being able to do what I do is just like amazing. What would you guys say about, like, for my fellow cast members from the team, what would you say, what do you love about working on the series?
Ooh.
Oh, well, I just love the working with the crew, and I love mixing whatever characters you want together and see what works with some well-placed restrictions, though. We're not putting SpongeBob or Chowder in here. That'd be too crazy.
Fortunately and unfortunately.
Yeah.
Rick and Morty are canon, but they'll never show up, ever. They can show up whenever they want, they just don't want to, and that's probably for the best.
Yeah.
That and Rick and Morty is already an adult series, so...
I know. I'm mostly joking. Just for the record.
Yeah. And what about you, Sacred?
My favorite part, I think, is, seeing, like, all the different creative stuff that goes into it, like, all the cool combinations of characters that you guys come up with, and also, delving into voice acting, because, like, when I first started doing it, I realized I actually did enjoy it quite a bit, and getting to be a pretty significant character on your series, it's quite a privilege, and I really appreciate it.
Yeah, it's like, I love the take you brought for Phoebe. I think you bring her, like, just everything for her attitude and stuff really well. And the short that I'm currently working on, which is hopefully coming next month, we've already started animating it.
I'm looking forward to it.
It's going to show a lot more of that. And going on to, I guess we'll do Steam Oddity really quick, because I know your character hasn't quite shown up speaking yet, but I still want to get your word in.
Well... Wait, what? Oh, yeah. Well, I enjoy being on the crew and stuff, because I like seeing what's going on with your whole thing. And I like voice acting in general, so I really want to do more for your series if I could, but, like, I'm really happy with what I'm doing at the minute, and I really like it.
Yeah, I've got a few people I got to talk to soon about like more voice stuff, and you are on that list. So, lots of great
Yeah, I
stuff.
personally want to do some more voice work if I could.
So good, we'll definitely give you chances. And I guess before we go on to Dookie, what's your thing, Caleb?
Personally, I like anime for a series. It's pretty much an excuse for me to find my own style.
Yeah, because like the thing I really enjoy with like having extra animators beyond actually being able to finish stuff is like, I think Meg's Headliner was a really good example because all three of us worked on that last shot. Caleb did the scene with Charlie and Skipper Stu talking, and then I did the little bit between Skipper Stu and the meeting of Scrooge and Elsa and stuff, with like Meg's little head roll and stuff, and then Sooty did the rest of the scene, and also Caleb also did the Strong Bad scene, and it's kind of like, it's fun kind of having different, because one of the things I love about traditional animation is being able to pinpoint different like animator style, and having that tradition kind of continue with CG animation, which is kind of hard at points. It's really nice to kind of be able to convey that.
Oh, wait. Another thing I like working on Critic is being able to provide ideas to move along with each episode and pretty much the series in general and see how they work out.
Yeah. And lastly, we have Dookie before we move on to the next questions.
I think as said, part working with the crew and the cast, part also, it's a really fun exercise working with two characters who otherwise would never pair up, but in Grotinia, they can pair up. As said, it's extremely fun working in the dynamics and great creative exercises. It is very fun pairing up to contrasting characters.
Yeah. It's just like it's fun. And again, seeing all these different takes on like the characters, it's just like it's a great time, and seeing, you know, everyone's contributions, it's like it's good. So we have about 6 minutes before we'll do our first brief break. We're gonna try and cap this at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, but we're doing pretty good with questions so far. I am gonna answer these next 3 pretty rapid fire because they are kind of basic questions. These came from Rory. 1, what is your favorite show? Some of my favorite shows. Well, one of the obvious ones is Thomas, but I also really enjoy the Raccoons. I like the Owl House. I like Bob the Builder. I like, trying to think of a couple ones. I love Petticoat Junction. That's an old show I discovered a few years back. I've been really getting into. There's a lot of shows I could mention, but it's kind of like, I also like Wayside, but I don't want to be here all day. We got questions to push through. Next up, when were you born? I was partying like 1999. That's all you gotta know. And lastly, do you know Super Mario Brother? I mean, do you know Super Mario? Well, I don't know, Luigi. Do you know Super Mario Brothers?
Oh, I don't know, Mario.
Come on, Luigi.
Fish!
Come on, Luigi. We gotta go find a warp pipe. We gotta go get the princess.
Yoshi coins!
Right behind you, Mario.
Hey, Toad.
Are we doing the cartoon or are we doing the bloody Bob Hoskins movie?
I'm doing the cartoon. Hey, Toad. Hey, Toad, where you at, Toad? Sacred, you good?
Oh, hey everybody, it's me, Toad! We're gonna play some games!
Come on, Toad, let's go. Okay. Okay, Alright, so I think we got time for like 1 or 2 more questions before we take a quick break. And, let me see. This is a good one. This is from Leaf Tunes. Where'd you get the idea to have a full-on crossover railway? I think the big thing for me was I wanted to do something, like, I felt like if it was, I think the problem with a lot of these crossovers, especially Pooh's Adventures, if I'm gonna be honest, I think a lot of them just kind of, like, plop these characters into, like, random locations, and they do not gel. Like, there's stuff like Thomas and Twilight's Adventures of the Little Mermaid, and Salty isn't there at all. And it's not like, oh, Eric's Kingdom's near Brendam Docks or something. And it's just like, a lot of these combos simply do not work. And it's like, I think the first, fun fact, the first one I ever discovered before, you know, it became a whole meme was like, it was 2010. I was going through YouTube and I was going through like a Rescuers phase. And I found like the Ed's Adventures of the Rescuers. And I was like, why are the Eds tiny and going through the mouse holes? This don't make sense. Why is there a Totally Spies villain? So
It sure is, Pooh.
So, oh my god, that quote is gonna haunt me till the day I die. But so the thing with like with like doing a full railway, I wanted to do something where you could. It was like basically, as America's called, a great melting pot. So kind of like something that everyone can naturally fit into, something that kind of worked with everyone's settings, and kind of where it wasn't just like, hey, here's Winnie the Pooh at the Sodor Hospital. Or like stuff like that. Hell, Jason the Chinese.
That might have something to do why. That might have something to do with the fact that. It might have something to do with why we're not gonna have any Winnie the Pooh characters in Crotunia.
Yeah.
I did actually have Owl early on in the series. Like, he was going to show up from time to time, but that kind of got scrapped because it's just like, where would he live? I do not know. But anyways, but let me see. The last question I think we'll do before we get to the break. This is going to be a genuinely interesting one to go through. This one comes from TrainFan2004, and they ask, what inspired the creation of the original characters in Crotunia, like Livy? And to put it simply, it was just like, I think, the big thing with Crotunia is mixing all sorts of characters together, but sometimes, there's two things. One thing is you want to do a bit more of your own thing as well, but also you can't get a character for quite everything. And I think the first original one I kind of came up with was Sir Alan, and he goes way before the Milantoon Town stuff, because, oh man, this is going to get interesting history. He was originally from a thing I was doing called, it was originally like a spin-off of something from the guy that who did City Trams back in the day. Again, aging myself rapidly.
I think I know what you're referring to.
And it was like Duck and Chicken and Chipmunk meet Frankenstein, which was Alvin and the Chipmunks meet Frankenstein, and it was like basically that evolved into Alvin and the Duck Monks, and eventually the whole Alvin and the Chipmunks thing got completely dropped, and eventually I was just like, well, I got this idea for, I want to keep this duck character here. And he eventually became Sir Alan Featherington, the controller of the gang, who his design, the hair is a bit of me, but I didn't want to just make him, a Marty Sue, be like, wow, he's the coolest controller ever, and he keeps total control. Like the logo on the Pocono short and some comics we're gonna do hopefully for Thanksgiving. There's his whole vibe is he is that uncle that is a bit goofy, has an ungodly amount of holiday shirts if the time calls for it. Hawaiian shirts or Halloween or Charlie Brown ties and all that kind of goofy stuff.
So he's basically gonna be like the fat controller in that one Twisted Tom short where it's like, is everything all good in the hood? Good in the hood? Yeah, I'm trying to be hip and radical. Well, you're failing.
Wow.
Is he gonna be?
I appreciate
is he gonna be
your
something?
Honesty. Partially, but it's kind of
right.
But kind of going to the question. So with the characters that we've kind of done, Phoebe and Ralph, they were originally going to be a thing for the toy line that we attempted a little bit back in the day, which didn't go through. But it was I wanted to do a Steelworks location because that was something on the branch line that I wanted to explore. And then Ralph was kind of yoinked over from, the Milantoon Town thing. His basis was even back there too, that tiny little German diesel that he was always meant to be that. Yeah. Oh yeah. Sorry for not getting the terminology right. But I think it was Austerity Engine who recommended this American mining engine prototype for the design of Phoebe, who was going to contrast Ralph a bit. Ralph is this basically neurotic kind of boss. He's kind of always he wants everything to go out on time, doesn't want any slip-ups or anything. And Phoebe is just kind of she's experienced, she's kind of been she's done and seen some stuff, so she's kind of very laid back and chilled. She likes to rib him a little bit, so that's kind of how she came together. And again, Livy was kind of Livy was very funny. She kind of is I don't know the word, the amalgamation, a mixture of a lot of people that I have had very bad experiences with, and kind of not really being whoa, she's the big super villain, but just kind of a warning sign of the kind of people to look out for a little bit, the kind that are kind of self-absorbed, don't really they kind of belittle other people and kind of and have this high standard. They're a little bit insecure. So a lot of different things, but that is kind of the fun of writing her a little bit, not the whole haha, I can be evil thing, but just kind of writing who can contrast, the nicer attitudes of a lot of characters. So, holy moly, that was a lengthy answer. I'm sorry for that. Yeah, so, with it now being 7:02, I think we're going to take a very brief break from 7:02 to 7:05. I'm going to put myself out of view, but I'm going to let you guys converse as you like while I am quickly on break. We'll start our questions again at 7:05, so you guys can do whatever you wish. Just, don't do the silly swears. I'm going to take my icon off, and I will mute myself, and I will be right back, everybody.
Again, I phased out. What's going on?
We're on break.
Ah, cool.
So,
So we're not live?
are we live?
We're live, but if you want, I can put it back to the starting soon thing so we can take like a quick 5-minute break.
Yeah.
Okay, so we will be back very soon. I'm gonna put it back on the starting soon thing, or actually I'm gonna see if I can get a copy of it really quick. Let me quickly get the music stopped. Let me stop the music, and we are going. There's gonna be a little bit of noise, just to let everyone know, but we will be back very soon. Getting my icon back, and we are back. We are back and alive again. I think we still got a couple people that got to return really quick, but I have now acquired an Oreo ice cream that I'm going to enjoy.
Ooh.
Ice cream!
Enjoy treating myself a little bit. I think we're just waiting back for Sacred, and then we're good to start again. Aww.
Is it nice, Milan?
Use a delicious ice cream sandwich.
Oh, they're
Right.
great.
Here, which
All right.
I used to have ice cream sandwiches all the time when I was young.
Okay.
too. I need help.
I know there's at least I can think of at least 3 kind of Oreo ice creams that exist, and I am craving one of each one right now.
All right. So let's get back to the questions.
Yes.
So this one
Next.
comes from Otaku of the Rails. So the first one that we have is number 1. What is your least favorite Crotunia video? That is personally Roll Along. Fun fact, for the Supersonic Songs and Stories DVD, which we have scrapped, I kind of decided, like, I was actually going to remaster that a little bit because, you know, I don't go back to a lot of my videos and be like, oh, I want to remaster it, because a lot of them do mark a learning curve of where my channel kind of came from. Ooh, man.
You alright then?
Yep, I just had a bit of Oreo stuck in my throat.
That's why you don't talk when you chew, my boy.
I'm gonna get myself some water.
Especially not with Oreos.
But anyways, yeah. But Roll Along, it is so ancient, crusty, kind of weird. It's Christmas time too is another one I kind of want to remaster a little bit, but it's like, again, with how my channel's kind of evolved a bit, it's kind of important for us to look back and not just be like, you know, Ted Turner and want to or like George Lucas and be like, I can fix it. But
Yeah, otherwise it's going to make people less interested in watching your work because they don't know which version to go with. That's the reason I've yet to properly watch the original trilogy. Yeah.
But yeah, so
Closest I've seen is the Family Guy version. But moving on.
Next up is from the same person. Who is your least favorite character and why? Oh, I'll tell you right here. Mr. Scrimblow Jimblow. That guy, he was such a troublemaker on set. Do you guys remember Scrimblow Jimblow? Remember what he did to you guys?
No.
He friggin'... Oh, that guy, he ate all the sandwiches in the craft services table, and it's just... He ate all of the mayo off of Bubs' egg salad sandwich. How did he even do that?
Man, and the guy was just playing the conductor in Skipper's Express. I can't believe it.
Yeah, it's just... Is Scrimblow still on the cast, or did we finally fire that guy?
He was fired ages ago. After he said questionable things on Twitter.com, we could not accept it anymore. But
Yeah.
So Scrimblow Jimbo, he was my least favorite character. I do want to clarify because I know some of the people. I do want to clarify that this was a joke. I don't really have a least favorite character on Crotunia. I love them all equally.
Yeah.
So
I kind of want to
I was
like
confused for a sec.
I kind of want to do like a mock behind the scenes thing now for Crotunia.
Oh man, I should have had that as part of the doc. Okay. But yeah, so the last question from Otaku of the Rails, I meant to say. How did you get... Oh boy. How did you come up with the name of Crotunia? That is actually another fun story. So that was actually my sister's idea. Because I was trying to come up with names a bit. And my younger sister, who did a little bit of animation on Totally to the Rescue, she did like 5 seconds. Like Callie coming into the wreckage. Like, I was kind of thinking of ideas, and she kind of suggested Crotunia, which, fun fact, is a mixture of Croatia and cartoon. So that is why that's why it's called Crotunia, and that's why it's always very funny when I see people pronounce it as Cartoonia. They missed the joke.
Read! You have to read!
I'm gonna read this one. Xavier Borden, are you going to make the train short? Yes. So next up, we got, these are coming from Train Boss. I better get these right because it sounds like I'm gonna have a mafia person at my door soon if I don't. I realize I gotta get Christian's music back. Who, by the way, if you guys want to hear more groovin' tunes from Christian, they have their channel available. I'm gonna link it really quick. So you can go subscribe to Christian, listen to the rockin' tunes you've been hearing throughout the stream. But back to the question. So, Train Boss asks, have you ever thought of making customs of the Crotunians one day? We did have a toy line in development at one point. If you guys go over to the wiki, you can see some of the some of the pictures of the prototypes we did. But, I don't know. I do not know if I'll ever do my own customs.
I made a couple.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I haven't posted it publicly yet, but I made a Play-Rail Tilly, and a Play-Rail Farnsworth is in development.
Oh yeah, it's gonna come out so cool.
Yeah. I was planning on posting photos of them as well as a couple of other Play-Rail customs I finished after I attended a Thomas fan meetup at the Caulfield Racecourse Model Train Show a couple of months ago, but then I got sick the day I got back from that, and I just kind of focused all my attention on getting better.
Oh shoot.
And then I forgot to do the thing.
It's all good. Your health comes first.
Yes, thank you.
But yeah, and the last question from Train Boss is, Will are your thoughts on the Owl House or Amphibia? And if so or not, do you have plans on do you have any plans on adding them into the series? I watched the first half, most of the first half of Season 1 of Amphibia. I have not finished it yet, for reasons I'll get into in a sec. Just gonna have some water really quick. But I have caught up with the Owl House. I am a very big fan of the show. I love the darker tone. I love how they turn a lot of the, fanny stuff on its head. I love the twists and turns with the villains. I love them, like the art direction of it, the characters. It's like, mwah, beautiful show. Fun show.
I've watched both shows, and I think they are both very good shows. I think they're both really great shows, but this is my opinion personally, not Milan's, but I honestly don't see them really working in Crotunia.
Yeah,
but that's just me.
I was gonna say they're very different in tone for Crotunia. Like a lot. I'm not sure if we got any questions on this yet for the Q&A, but one of the big things with Crotunia is, we kind of figure out which characters work the best, and I don't know if a genocidal guy from the colonial times is going to exactly be the best villain to go up against Diesel-10 and Cerberus.
Yeah.
When can I work Ida into a script? When? Give me the call. I'll do it.
I'll do so. Oh man, we have a lot more questions to get through. I gotta speed this up a bit. Where is Crotunia? On the American East Coast. That's all I can say. Have you made a map of Crotunia? If so, could you show it? You know what? I actually do have a map. And
sorry to butt in, but have we gotten to my questions yet?
It's gonna be a little while yet. We've got to.
Okay, good.
I'm gonna pick up the pace a bit because we have a metric ton to get through. But if I can find the diddly dang map. I just need to find it really quick so I can show our beautiful audience what it looks like. So this is a map that needs a bit of updating, but this is what the map of Crotunia looks like. You can find this on our wiki without the JPEG saturation.
Yeah, it needed to be updated years ago.
I know. I'm a busy boy. I'm trying to do a lot of things. But yeah, so this is the map. This is where it is. You can guess where on the American East Coast it is from that, and that's where it is. What episode did you dislike writing for? None to my memory, honestly. There's not an episode of Crotunia where I've been like, oh man, that one, I don't want to write that one. Because the thing with Crotunia, I do what I want to do, and kind of what I think is really fun for the series. So it's not a really dislike rating for. I just enjoy doing the do.
Mm-hmm.
So next up, we're going to do favorite Chuggington episode and why. There's a lot of them, but I'm going to save for the sake of this, for, Speed, Brewster's Greatest Gift. I did not know Chuggington could make me cry, but it did, and God bless it. So if anyone wants to fire in really quick too with theirs, you just gotta keep it speedy.
Any episodes involving Harrison and Chatsworth interacting, because I ship them.
Yes.
Yes!
Chatsworth is
Based!
The best episode ever.
Wilson has 2
I'd
fathers.
I'd have to watch the show again to have an answer. So basically, I don't have an answer. Sorry.
It's all good.
Mine is probably Bruce's Greatest Gift again. I remember watching it when it aired on CBeebies, like the first day, and I was like, oh, well, that just happened, and I was like, oh my god, I didn't think they could do something as good as this. Like,
what happened in that episode again?
So, quick to get briefly summarized. So Hodge radiator breaks completely down, and only Brewster has 2 radiators, and one of them is the same type as, and they're both the same kind that Hodge needs. But Brewster isn't sure if he'll be able to work again without the one radiator. So basically, Chugging did an organ donor episode.
Didn't they literally have a whole campaign about organ donors at one point?
Yeah, it was like a charity that helps out with organ donations or something that they did like a week thing for. So
yeah, wasn't it to promote Greatest Gift?
Kind of, but also to promote the charity, I think. So
Yeah.
yeah. So, and lastly, Caleb.
Yeah?
What's your favorite Chuggington episode?
I don't have a favorite.
Ah, that's fair. So next up, these are coming from Blueskidoo. I hope I pronounced that right. First up is, how do you create your characters from Crotunia? Who's your favorite one? I dove into like character creation a bit, but I think my personal favorites have to be Phoebe, Ralph, Livy, Audrey, and Sharon, Grace, and Scott. So there's a lot of them. So they are among my favorite OCs. If anyone wants to add theirs, they can do so really quick.
I feel like Phoebe is kind of a expected response considering I voice her, but it's just fun.
I mean,
I like it's like she's similar to me, so it's like it's fun to. I really like her personality.
Yeah, she's very fun.
Best girl boss.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I guess I'd also have to go with Phoebe and Ralph.
Yeah.
And what about you?
Mine's probably Audrey. I just really like her design, and I'd like to see more of her. Yeah.
I can assure you, we're working on some more stuff with her soon.
Awesome.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I like how Phoebe seemingly never loses her cool. Has she ever lost her cool?
The only time is Life of Livy.
Even then, still, it was only because, like, even then, still, she was only, like, a little annoyed with Livy. It's like, to be fair, considering how Livy is, anybody would.
Yeah, Phoebe never loses her cool. If Phoebe ever gets mad, that's how you know you really done.
That's how you know it's going down.
Yeah. So, oh man. And then Caleb and Dookie.
It's kind of a hard choice. Oh well.
And Dookie, who is your favorite OC?
Also, from Crotunia, yeah, probably also Phoebe and Ralph. But also Sharon and Grace. I love the gaslight, gatekeep, girl boss, queen Phoebe, the little guy, Ralph, and the gay people. I love them all.
They are all beautiful. And that reminds me, I've got some more stuff featuring some of those characters coming up soon. Oh, before I move on, I saw someone mention Brucey, and oh man, he's kind of becoming a bit of one of my favorites too. And I actually have a story I can share really quick about how he was created. So I talked about the thing in the documentary did Sunday, kind of like how he went from, like, you know, a Sodor workman to a generic diesel to a character diesel. But what I didn't mention was what inspired him. So does anyone remember New Adventures of Winnie the Pooh by any chance?
Kind of.
I do.
So there, I'll pull up a picture really quick. So there was one episode where it was like there was this guy Bruno, and he was kind of like it was kind of like a Toy Story kind of plot where it's like he comes in and the gang thinks he's gonna replace them, and there's a whole misunderstanding, but like, and it's just like he was a Jim Cummings character, and I just love the flair and personality Jim gave from him. He was this very this unintentionally, like, you know, haughty, kind of bombastic, kind of like, I'm the cool guy, you know, kind of that sort of vibe. And I tried giving that to Brucey a bit, so that also kind of sparked his name. I didn't want to do just like Bruno because obviously Break Car Bruno is a thing. And, I can do, other kind of, So Brucey was kind of the next best thing. And also kind of a reference to Bruno originally being called Brucey. Like Break Car Bruno. So references all around. So, next up, do you have anyone else who helps with music animation besides yourself? I don't know, guys. What do you think? Do you think I get help?
Yeah.
No.
Well, it's a shame. I really need some 2D animation sometime. This conductor guy seemed pretty reputable, so I'm gonna have to say no to that. Who could imagine I would not get all the animation and music myself? I can't believe this.
Well, I'd have to check my busy work schedule. Okay, nothing. Okay, I'm planning on erasing the apostrophes and replacing them with G's, but other than that, I don't have anything on, so yeah, I can help out.
So, next up is, and the last question from Blueskidoo is, what character can you relate yourself to in Crotoonia? That's hard, because a few of them I do relate to. Ralph, I feel like I'm a little bit of Ralph sometimes, where, the stress can kind of get to me a little bit. Sometimes I'm like, oh, thank you for subscribing, Jack Animates. I really have to fix that subscribe thing very soon. That is very dated. But a little bit of, Phoebe's kind of laid back thing, a little bit of Audrey, where she can be a little bit quiet at times, and a little bit of Brucey, kind of being a bit bombastic and loud at times, but also wanting to, be friends with people, so, yeah, that's, and of course, Sir Alan being the goofy sort of guy who has silly things, so, yeah, those are the characters I kind of relate to. So, I guess shall we move on to the next thing?
Mm-hmm.
Right,
Might as well.
So this one comes from the Railways of Crotoonia fan page, Ben Lisa. That's going against the values a little bit. Quote, number 1, is there any minor Sodor characters could have a role on your series? I think there may be. We might have just done one. Their video may be coming out Saturday. Which I already haven't, but you could see it early in the documentary thing. So, go to watch How We Make Crotoonia. You'll get your answers there. And number 2 is the Dreamfleet Diesels only had 10, while Steamy's only 6. Because they are modern. And moving on to the next one, what was your first interest of trains? Thomas or Chuggington? Mighty Express.
Joe!
Mighty Express is so good, dude.
Man, I love how
best series ever. I love how it treats its female characters.
I love how original each plot is. Oh boy!
I love how every episode is the exact same with no difference.
Seasons and a movie.
I love
I'm calling it now.
Actually,
I love how
Mighty
original
Express
it is.
deserves 6 seasons and a movie.
Well, with the way it's going at its flagship store in the US and the fact that there's been no actual season greenlight beyond dumping the episodes on Netflix, I think it's only just getting 1 season and 4 specials. So, because that's all they ordered and that's all they're airing, it seems like. But yeah, joking.
It started airing on this channel in the UK, Tiny Pop.
Because they're not making money from Netflix because they kept dumping 4 episodes every 6 months. They're like, why are we not getting toys sold? And the toys are doo-doo, and the episodes are getting 4 a few months. Also, thanks Thomas Mini's Life for subscribing.
I remember one time when I was at Walmart, I saw a bunch of Mighty Express toys on liquidation, and it's like, ha!
Yeah, it's like...
Oh, thank you, Josh the Tank Engine. We're getting a lot of new subscribers in this stream. Well, holy moly. But yeah, jokes aside, yeah, Thomas was obviously my starting point. But next up, that question also came from David Avils 175. Thank you, by the way. Next one comes from Gibran and Friends, Production and Other Vid. Number 1 is what is your first concept before you animate with MMD? Do you have a storyboard? I dove a lot of this into the How We Make Crotoonia video, but I typically start with a script. Sometimes I'll sketch out different ideas for scenes, like I did this for the Accidents Will Happen and Troublesome Trucks music video. Ooh. And I did a beat board for Life of Livy because I wanted to rig up some new facial expressions. I think I got that somewhere. Let me see if I can find it. But it's typically just kind of we go from script, we block it out in Sony, my brain is going a little doo-doo today. Yeah, it's typically script, and then we block it out in Sony, MMD, so we can kind of get the basic idea for what I want to do for the short. And Yeah, that tends to be how it. And thank you again, man. We're getting a lot of subscribers today. I can't see who it is though because I'm currently getting the image. Oh no! But thank you very much for subscribing. I think that's the most new subscribers we've gotten during the stream. It's like, holy moly! But yeah, so I think you guys have all already seen this, like on the crew. But this was the board I did for some of Livy's new expressions in the short. So this is kind of like get an idea of what I was gonna do in SketchUp, how much I wanted to really push the expressions in the short. So this I'll also share it with the cast too for like this. So kind of get an idea for the mood of the scene a little bit. So
that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
She's angry.
She be angry.
Yeah.
She be angry. And second question, this is a good one.
No, I'm angry.
Second question, why some of your character 2D instead of 3D? For example, like Strel and Featherington. I like doing the Roger Rabbit thing, and I love giving diversity to my style a bit.
Yeah.
And some of them are very hard to do in 3D.
It is very hard. It has gone to the point where I have considered pitching to Milan the idea, let's make 3D models of them and have them cell shaded for shots that would be too hard to just do in 2D.
Yeah. That's a
No. The real answer is yes.
Yeah. And the last question from Gibran. In the future, do you think you can make a product, not like the merch or even a toys, like food and drink? We've had merch ideas every once in a while. Most of them we do on TeePublic. By the way, can I do a quick shameless commercial?
Yeah.
Go on.
Because you guys may not have seen, but we have some merchandising available over on our TeePublic. I'm going to throw a link in there because merch sales and, super chats, they help us a lot with funding stuff, so I can pay some of these nice people and help them out with stuff and do stuff for them. So I'm going to show some of the new designs that we have recently launched. So there's a link in the stream chat now if you guys want to go take a look at that. Let me see, where did I put it all here? I put it over here, so let me see what's... PNG, you gotta find just the PNG. Sorry for the wait.
Also, my battery might run out soon, so it might just end the call. And I have to go to bed soon, so like.
Hey, that's okay. If you need to head out, you're more than welcome to. Oh my god, I'm stuck on one thing on the thing. Oh god, I gotta get the resizing stuff for the stream fixed. But here's a couple designs that are currently available on some of our merch shops. So we have this one of the Steel Gang available on one of them. And let me pull up over here so we can still see the chat. And pull up another one. It's going to be ginormous. Let me see this. Oh, these are older merch. I've got to get the fresh merch. So if you go, let me see, where's the funny anniversary merch I've recently done? Ha! Here we go. So I think I realized this would have been easier to do as like a proper stream thing. But like we got some of these cool designs available here. And actually on Redbubble we have pillows, not body pillows. And if you do get body pillows, please don't bring that into the chat. That's
later.
Body pillows? Excuse.
I don't know why this person asked them. Remember, this is a PG stream, but these are some of the designs that you can purchase over on TeePublic right now. Available on t-shirts, mugs, pillows, whatever you want.
I'm considering possibly getting one, maybe.
I mean, I can gift you one once we get. I'm working hard to get some videos moving so we can get like some nice stuff for you guys soon. But,
can I also do a plug?
Sure thing. I just got one last thing to promo with it. We also have this special anniversary design that's only available till the end of the year on the shop. These are all available over on TeePublic, so if you want to support the show and get yourself some cool Cartoonia swag, you're more than welcome to. And I'm going to let Lucky do a quick plug, too.
Right. If you want to get, like, shirts or stickers or, like, postcards or bags or something that have characters from Harvey Beaks or the Mr. Men Show, then go to my Redbubble shop, Freakin' Duck.
And I'll link that really quick, too.
Right.
Yeah.
Can I plug something as well, please?
Really quick. We still got a lot of questions to go through.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm working on something at the minute for my 5-year anniversary on YouTube. And it's this really big remake of one of my older videos from about 4 years back now, and if all of you could tune in to see it, I really appreciate that because I'm really working hard on it. So
Yes.
that's
Oh,
it.
Go check out Steam Oddity on YouTube. There's a lot of cool stuff coming. But yeah, so basically, yeah, I don't know if we do a food and drink. I'm not going to be like, here, check out my cool Crotunia boiler water or something like that. But we have different, lots of merch in mind. Okay, we got some really fun questions from JBC Productions. Gonna go through really quick. Out of all your original characters, which is the most likely to commit arson?
What?
I love this question.
I don't.
What is the question?
Chaos.
I don't think.
Fire.
I don't think any of them. But I could see like, oh god, I don't even know who I could see is like accidentally starting one.
Diesel.
No, we're talking my characters.
Originals.
Forget I said anything then.
But yeah,
Grace.
So, Grace would be like an accident though. She would like be unloading barrels or something, and then like maybe she like knocks over some like fireworks or something.
Yeah, but the thing is, arson is fire set on purpose.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, so who would do it intentionally?
Technically, all the steam trains because they run on fireboxes.
It's gotta be
Hilarious,
Rashira.
I'm
No
sure.
one is that cute. No one can be that cute without secretly planning something.
Yeah. What is your social security? Now we're not doing that.
No, we're not doing that. We're not doing that.
They said, okay, seriously, question. Which character have been the hardest to model? Any of the boats. Boats are hard to model. That's why I commission people like Mainland Studio to get help for that. That's all I'm gonna say. We have some of them definitely have posed a bit more of a challenge than others, but a lot of them have been pretty simple to put together. But it's just like, again, it's like the ones that are a bit more, streamlined and stuff that are a bit difficult to do. So moving on to D-Money Low. Wait a minute. I recognize this username. Let me see. Is this what I'm thinking of? Or is this like a different guy? I'm seeing like a Transformers icon. Okay, this is not who I was thinking of. But first question, is there any other voice actor you would love to have in your series, such as Joey Turner and Da Wilson?
Personally, I want to try to see if we could get DCG 12B in the series.
Ooh, that would be cool.
All I'm gonna say to that question is, stay tuned. I may be talking to people.
Scott McNeil! No, I'm kidding.
We'll see eventually.
Ray Parker.
Second question. Best Cars movie out of the trilogy? 3, easily. Or the original. I haven't watched either in a while, but I remember 3 was really good. And 1
Indeed it was.
Cars is great. Cars 3 is also great.
Favorite non-Disney animated film? The Magic Pudding. The greatest movie ever. Best Australian movie ever. The $12 million budget really showed.
Magic. I knew it existed, but I never actually gave it any thought until Milan brought it up one time, like 7 years ago.
This is an X-Pudding!
Oh my god. Oh god, you remember the Milantoon live streams? If you did, I'm very sorry.
I remember it.
I would like to anyone who remembers.
Anyway,
seriously, to anyone who remembers the original Milantoon live streams from 2015, I just want to say I am very, very sorry for anything that may have happened in them.
But yeah, so for a
we
favorite,
thought we were funny.
For a favorite,
we won.
For like a favorite non-Disney movie. Like non-Disney anime movie, there's a lot of them. It's kind of hard for me to narrow down at the minute, but like Chicken Run, I will name as one.
Ooh, I love Chicken Run.
Yeah. So, anyone want to add some really quick before we skedaddle along? We got a lot of questions to do.
It's great.
Pirates and an Adventure with Scientists, or Pirates Band of Misfits, as it may have been called in some territories. Great movie, underrated movie. Please watch it.
And it's from the guys who did Chicken Run and Wallace and Gromit, so it's good.
Also, Yellow Submarine is good. Yellow Submarine's good.
Yeah, and
my battery is about to die.
Oh shoot,
Milan, can I do a quick plug for the Discord server for a moment?
We'll do it after this question. I just got to talk to Steam really quick. So, Steve,
Okay.
if you do need to go, you can do so. Thank you for joining us, by the way. We hope you had a great time.
Yeah, I really appreciate it. Yeah, I'll get going now. So see ya.
Okay.
See you soon, and we hope you have a
Bye.
great night. Thanks for joining us, Steam.
Bye.
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 Yeah, so, going on, who's next for... Sacred, do you want to go next?
For what?
Favorite non-Disney animated movie?
Oh. That is a very good question.
Name one right off the top of your head. Anyone.
I'm thinking. Non-Disney. Crap! I can't think of any. I really can't think of anything.
It's all good.
I mean, I know I have favorite movies. I just can't. It's just like.
It's all
That
good.
question is specific. I can't really answer right now.
Not a problem. But yeah, last one. I think we got Dookie and Caleb. What is your favorite non-Disney animated movies?
Non-Disney animated films. It's hard to say.
Just gotta pick
I'll
one.
take-
Anyone will do.
I'm really not sure.
Okay, and Dookie. Any that come to mind?
There's two, one being the delivery service. Ghibli, I love it so much. I understand I can. It's a vibe. Another one being nostalgic one, 1995 Balto. It's a nostalgic movie, and looking back, it adds up.
Yeah, those were both good. I really gotta watch Kiki sometime. I've watched a few Ghibli movies with my friend Natty, so it's just like I gotta catch up a little bit. But let me see. I just want to remind the chat really quick. If you do want a question answered here, we are not answering some from the chat because we have a lot of comments to still go through. However, if you do want a question answered, you can feel free to give a super chat to do so. So if you want the answer to questions like will Livy ever start a fire, just gotta send a little donation our way. It can be just $1. Any dollar will do. So before we go on to the next questions, you have to make this very quick because we have a lot of stuff to still get through. Caleb wanted to do a plug for our Discord server. I'm just going to get the invite in really quick. So
Yes.
all right,
Yes.
you've got a minute.
Yeah. Speaking of movies, if you want to join us for any movie nights, it's join the server where we once in a while have our City 2 nights.
Yeah, we did one for Magic Pudding recently. It was very fun. So feel free to come on by in either link we've posted.
We also gonna do game nights sometimes too. So if that's what you want, go right ahead.
Yeah, and don't forget to do your introductions as you come in. That's our only thing. But yeah, so next up, going back to questions, we got oh lord, we've barely scratched the surface. I'm gonna have to really pump it through a little bit. So I think I have to speed run a couple. We've already done which Croton episodes are favorite. Remember any episodes that were planned but then ended up scrapped? A lot. With the refresh, we're kind of redoing everything a bit. So we had a lot of scripts that we kind of ended up shelving because of the refresh and because the 10 were taking so long to get done. But I will say some of the 10-minute scripts we were planning to do are being retrofitted a little bit for the refresh. So who knows? You'll discover some Crotonia Lost Media soon. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
moving forward, what made you want to use MMD to animate? The big thing was like a lot of models were easily accessible, but it's also it's not as like professional as like SFM or Blender and stuff, but it was like but it's just like the fact you could it was kind of like easier to kind of get into a little bit and kind of easier to work with a lot of things. It was kind of jump into it, do what you want to, learn a little bit, but yeah. That's kind of what inspired me. So, I should say really quick to explain the super chat thing because I see we're still getting questions. So it's just a little money thing there. So if you do want a question, that's gonna be the way you'll get it answered on this stream because we have still a good 100 or so, 200 comments to get through. Next up, and this also came from Upside Down Productions, by the way. What is OC talked about? What's your tips to making your first Thomas the Tank Engine MMD animation? Learn the 12 principles above everything, and make mistakes. Try out whatever you want to do, and kind of learn a little bit as you go along. But especially learn the 12 principles of animation, because once you get the 12 principles down, you can do anything at all. So, moving on to the next one. This one comes from Wax Specific. Thoughts on a full Chuggington retrospective. I have been planning one, actually, for Season 6. Not quite for the whole series, but it's like Season 6 I've really wanted to do a video on for a little while, so stay tuned for that. And can you make a video on why Mighty Express is a piece of trash? I'm not gonna lie, I've debated doing a Mighty Express video for Ramblings that's a bit more ranty, but I also don't want to make a career ranting about preschool children's cartoons. I don't want to...
I say do what you gotta do.
I know, but I don't want to be, a big doomy. This one comes from the Emerald Minecart 2006. This is a question I get a lot, and I think is, oh, I just gotta text my sister really quick. That gave the name for Cartoonia. Apparently a package has arrived, and I gotta bring it over.
Ooh.
Ooh.
That's always fun when a package arrives.
Yeah. But, so the question that Emerald Minecart brought up was, so what happened to railways like the Northwestern Railway and the Chuggington Railway? Because for railway to function, you need motive power. So what happened to those railways without their engines? Because it's always seen on the Cartoonia Rail. What happened to engines old homes? Simple. A lot of them are on loan, and half the characters still work there. So if you don't see certain characters from time to time, they are back on the motherland, helping out a little bit. Or in the case of Fantasyland Fairy Tale, a lot of them just kind of live there now. And oh, Tony Pilot's in the chat. Hello, Tony Pilot. Hey, as he's known on here, Tony Goldwing 72. Welcome to the stream. But yeah, so let's go to the next question.
All right.
Sandy, this channel appears to be closed. How long does it take to make a Crotoonia video? A long time. That's all I can say. The shortest I think was like the Red Light short, which only took 4 days, and then. Because I know I got this question later on. The longest, I think, were Tilly to the Rescue and Meg's Headliner, which took, I think, about 3 to 4 years to get done. So...
No, yeah, Meg's Headliner, definitely.
Yeah. I'm just realizing, oh, wow, we're getting a lot of people on the Discord. Holy moly. So, to everyone joining the Discord now, welcome. Make yourselves at home. Make sure to introduce and follow the rules. And let me get to the next question that we have. What I've already discussed. Favorite. If you could change one thing from a previous Crotoonia video, what would you change? Hard to say. It's mostly just like, production upgrades and stuff. But it's like, again, everything is like a stepping stone of how my series has evolved. So that is the most I can say. And let me see. Here's one from Alex K9. Did you see DuckTales 2017? And did you hear about the Darkwing Duck reboot? I don't know. Hey, Lockie, do you think I've seen it? I mean, I've only got a few toys that you've gifted me. I've gotten through most of Season 2. I've got, a couple... I have a DVD that I sold to you. Do you think I've seen it?
I don't know. There doesn't seem to be a lot of evidence supporting the fact that you have.
I know,
also,
right?
I don't think I've ever... Did I? Also, I mean, if there was, I would have totally suggested using the reboot designs in Crotoonia. But that hasn't happened in comics, and is going to happen in comics. Oops, forget I said that.
Whoops. Little spoiler.
But,
and...
Yeah, but yes, he's seen it, we've both seen it, and... Yeah, I think it's a good show. It's a good show.
I really gotta finish it. I love kind of how they incorporate a lot of the, like with the crossover aspect, especially with like the Disney Afternoon stuff.
Yeah.
But
I don't want to give anything away, but the closer you get to the end, lower your expectations.
Yeah, I kind of heard. And also, I do want to say really quick, don't feel pressured to give super chats or anything. It's just kind of like... It's mostly because we got, like, so many comments and stuff, so you do not need to be like, I need to give my money to the Milantooner right now. It's just kind of like if you want to, don't feel pressured. Because I know you guys all have groceries to get too. So the last question from Alex K9 is, how do people make custom MMD models like you did for Thomas or Tilly? I knew mine on SketchUp. I have an exporter that I downloaded somewhere. I can't remember where I got the plugin though, but if you look up mmd.x exporter, you'll probably find it, like for SketchUp. And then I rigged them all in PMX editor, so that's how I build my funny train models. So, next up, we got one from KJ Hizia 1215 BTCP ATLP AKF Diamond. Can you make Big World Big Adventure background engine? I think I technically did with the purple Henry from Red Light, but you know, if I make other characters, who knows? Maybe we'll finally get everybody's favorite Gray Henry. The one that destroyed
Gray Henry, the captain.
The one that murdered all the coconuts in that one episode.
Everybody loves Gray Henry.
Oh, another subscriber. Thank you for subscribing, Caleb Station. I didn't know you had a station, Caleb Tivity.
What? No, I didn't. Who told you that? Who was telling you these lies?
The internet was telling me. The stream alert told me they subscribed. But anyways, next up is from C. William. What's next for the series? A lot of things. That's all I can really say. And Dominic does stuff. Number one, why did you want all these train shows bunched up? I thought it'd be fun.
Yes.
I thought it'd be a fun idea. And this is one I think a lot of people have been asking on... Well, one person has been repeatedly asking on the stream, so this is good. How did you get copyrighted by the companies for their characters or music in your series? Music, I've gotten copyrighted for, like, you know, like the... If it's a straight-up Thomas song, we've gotten copyrighted, but... Dookie, should I tell them about some things that have happened?
You wanna pop off? Go.
So, you know, if you ever... Do people know if Crotunia has ever been, you know, spotted by these companies? You know, are they gonna get sued for doing what we do? You're talking to someone who at one point almost got freelance work with Chuggington's social media team, and also was offered by a particular toy company that may or may not have been working with a certain train brand that has recently relaunched, not 2D, but like 3D, that may have looked at the idea we kind of did with their toys, and may have offered to sponsor Crotunia upon seeing how well their characters did in views. So, to put it simply, they know I'm here. And you're all... Also, I've worked for Mattel with the Thomas Creator Collective. So that should answer a few questions I've gotten throughout the stream.
Yeah, TCC, from what I've heard, is like a rabbit hole.
Yeah, and it's something my channel ain't prepared to dig into too much. And we have 10 minutes left. Perfect time for the construction tune to be on. So last question from Dominic Does Stuff is, how did Thomas, Tilly, Casey Jr., and Tracy meet each other? I'll admit, I don't really dive into backstory stuff much for Crotunia, because I like kind of just having, like, you know, not like complicating stuff with like a bunch of like how did these things happen? Did Crotunia grow from a hole in the ground and then become a thing? But it's like we've delved in history for like location stuff. I think for Thomas, Tilly, and Casey Jr., I think Casey Jr., I kind of generalize as being like him and Toots were kind of the first ones for the Fantasyland and Fairy Tale Railway Traction Company for Crotunia. Tilly came afterwards, and then Thomas kind of started being loaned over from Sodor for, like, you know, because Sir Tom had started bringing over some stuff from Sodor and kind of like good trade relations and stuff and need for work and stuff. And Tracy, we kind of generalize as like we kind of turned the Dreamland engines into the Dream Fleet, which is a US-based company. Another subscriber, thank you, Hudson Demon Guy 12. And so Trace, eventually the Dream Fleet set up shop in the Cliffstone Mountains, like inside Cliffstone Junction, and they all kind of met through their work, like kind of like, you know, nothing like really earth-shattering, like, oh man, you're that guy, except for maybe Thomas. Just kind of like, you know, they all kind of met up and they did their own thing. So that's the most I can say. And and next up we have Toby the Tram Engine, who asked, what do you think of Roly Poly Oly? Love that show. I've watched it a ton as a kid. I'm glad there's apparently new episodes in production.
Wait, really?
Apparently it's like coming. I think it recently came back to Disney Plus, and the creator mentioned like, oh yeah, we're gonna do we're gonna do like we're looking at doing new stories and stuff. So it's like, oh, that sounds cool.
That's so.
I'll admit, I'll admit the most I know about the show is that it exists. I may have seen it at one point, but that was years ago, and I honestly don't have much interest in watching it today. But I will admit, it is cool to know that they are bringing it back.
That is very fair. But
yes, now if they'd bring back Harvey Beaks or the Mr. Men show, or maybe Budgie, then we'd be all set.
That is very valid. Anyone ever watch Roly Poly Oly before we move on?
I have.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, hello. Thank you for subscribing, Little Puppy 202 TV LP Kids.
Ugh.
Hey, let's not insult our subscribers. Remember, these are the people that are putting the bread on the table. And they are
Didn't
also
you
very
get into a
nice.
controversy one time?
I don't know. But we're not.
Yeah,
here,
I'm pretty sure you did.
We're not here to.
Anyways.
We're not.
Anyways.
We're not here to kick up drama. We're not Peter Sam's funnel. Anyways.
Moving on.
Yeah, let's keep on going. So next up, do you like Sudrian Afro's music? I have.
Yes.
I actually used it for a couple of Ramblings videos. And
Yeah.
next up, Sieran and Dirac, I think that's pronounced, are making new Crotunia episodes with Thomas, Tilly, Casey Jr., and Tracy. Yes, stay tuned. And Livy is getting one as well. Next one comes from Screaming Opossum 695. Is there any character that you regret putting into Crotunia? I don't have any regrets because there's no character I really have regretted putting in, because it's like a lot of the ones, like, the ones I would regret, I kind of avoid doing. Because I know if I ever introduced MLP, there would be a whole storm of things that I can't say. We're not insulting them, by the way. It's just like, I think the show is fine. It's just like we can't incorporate it, and also, the general thing of like crossing that over. So no, there's nobody I regret. Thoughts on fans putting their own characters OCs in AUs based on the series? Well, I've had some commissions that have gotten used in the series. I'm gonna bring up one such commission. I am actually kind of open for these a little bit. You can, if you go to the Discord, you can kind of get information set up. They will take a while because these are pretty lengthy builds to do. But for one example, this character has cameoed a couple times in videos. Let me see if I can get a picture of them really quick. So this fellow you might have seen in a few videos. This is Ricky. This came from Animator51, one of my patrons, and someone who's done some really good fan animations on Twitter for my videos. So this was a commission of his. He's cameoed a couple times. So if you he actually ordered this through the Patreon. We have a tier for like specifically including a commissioned engine. So if you want to support the series, get exclusive stuff, and your own choo-choo train in Crotunia, that's how you do it. But yeah, as long as you're not doing stuff like, Fallout edits or anything, you're totally fine to do whatever you want with Crotunia. Just,
But if you do it anyway, then you need to have rehab right now.
No, not rehab.
No.
Nah, Caleb, that's a little harsh.
I've seen at least two people, maybe one or two people doing Fallout edits though.
Oh, well. Sacred, Sacred, what's your thoughts?
I
As long as
don't
nobody,
really know.
as long as nobody puts Phoebe in Fallout edits, you're good.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, seeing as I'm like the official voice for her, it's like, yeah, please don't make her a scary mutant zombie. Please do not do that.
Yeah.
Don't kill her off or whatever, please. I do not like that.
So Fath Smith Sim asks, who are you going to make next? We have a lot of characters we're currently making. Stay tuned. We're going to get a few more quickly done, and then we're going to take another quick break. We're going to try and go for... We're going to have to start speed running because we've got about an hour left before... Unless we do like a part 2 later on in the week, or like tomorrow or something. That's the only way I could see we could... If we don't finish all these tonight, we can definitely do it tomorrow for like a part 2 if people are willing. But let me see. What the next question we have is who... But... Actually, oh yeah, just answer that one. Josh the Tank Agent asked a few questions. When does your Roblox game come out? What's the game going to look like? Is the game going to be at early access? I know I've gotten a lot of questions about the Roblox game, and all I can say is... well...
Don't expect it to come out anytime soon. That's all we're gonna say.
Yeah, it's like I really want to do a Roblox game. but like the problem has been one, it's like we're trying to figure, like we've tried to figure out kind of what we want to do, but the biggest thing is like basically everybody I've tried to get to work on the game has been very sus, to say the least. Like we've had some good people sticking around for the game. We have, I think, Cardinal, who's done some really great games. He's still, I mean, they're still up for doing the game and stuff. And there's, I think I've got Jordan on the team to help out as well. They've offered, but it's like we've had some people that have turned out to be not very good people, and it's kind of like it's been demoralizing to say the least. Plus, it's also kind of figuring out how to make my game kind of like how to make the game more unique from like other Roblox games. Like I think, so it's kind of like it's just kind of it'll happen when it happens. That's all I can say. And next up, we actually got one from another patron and a very good friend of mine, Maddie Harris, who has recently done an interview on the Egg Wiki with a very cool fellow in Crotunia, and he asked a few things. In Crotunia, we have many different engines coming from different franchises, but however, I'm still confused lore-wise to some of them, like why the Thomas characters are there. Why are they at Crotunia when they work at other railways? Did they close down a universe, or are they helping out for a period of time before returning home? I kind of said this before, but it's kind of like an exchange program they kind of got going on. So they'll work on Sodor for a little bit, then they go to work on Crotunia for a little bit, so they kind of go back and forth by ferry or so. So, for like that's kind of like the Sodor gang, what they're kind of up to. Some are permanent, like the Fairy Tale and Fantasyland crew, or like the Dream Fleet and stuff. But like Thomas gang, they still go back because, Sodor needs to be run. And I talked about before about how I originally got into animating on MMD. Kind of like I saw Tony Pilot starting to get into it, and I saw a lot of the possibilities with it. And the last question Maddie asks is, where can I get your chaotic energy? I really want it. I have a lot of anxiety. Load yourself on too many cartoons and wacky things, and you get a chaotic little me. That's how I come to be.
If there's anyone you need to get some chaotic energy from, you could get some from me. But you're not getting any of that.
Too bad. I got the syringe. So while I go, so while we go extract that,
I'm about the chaotic energy.
So while we go, while I go extract Caleb's chaotic energy, we are going to take We're going to go take a 5-minute break. We are going to answer as many questions as we can within the next hour or so. If we do not get to all of them tonight, we will definitely try sometime either tomorrow or later in the week, depending how we go. But we shall return in 5 minutes. So I am going to switch over back to the BRB screen, and we'll see you in a little bit. Until this one time I ate boiled peanuts.
How dare you? How absolutely dare you?
I couldn't help it.
That
I
I'm
couldn't.
gonna
was the
trust
most
you from here on out.
That was the
can't-
most outrageous story I ever heard.
I
Do
couldn't-
not put that. Do not let people know you said it.
I couldn't help it. The monkey was a very nice vendor and offered the peanuts. Anyways, let's welcome back. We are now in the final hour of this stream. I am realizing we are definitely going to have to we're either going to have to really fast track, or we are going to probably make this a part 2. So, continuing, we're going on to Thomas and Scoops Productions. Who's your favorite duo character in Cartoonia? I think we all know who that is.
Cartoonia.
I think
Is it?
For the last bloody time,
You're
it's Protoonia, not Cartoonia. It's CRO, not CAR.
Milan is your favorite duo.
Yeah, it's Phoebe and Ralph. They are very fun characters.
Mine's Homestar and Strong Bad. Like, they work together both here and in other works.
Oh yeah, I also enjoy them too.
Yes.
Genty and Pug. I think y'all should know why.
Yeah.
Right, so unless we have any other duos to speak of, I will go to the next question. I'm going to the next question. Is Coco the fastest chugger on Cartoonia Railway? I think she is probably the fastest with the speed boosters and stuff, but who knows? We shall see.
No. The fastest engine is Toby.
Next.
Fun fact.
Tobias.
Fun fact. I
Tobias had
had
to
a
go
music
faster like
video
the speed
idea.
of sound.
Fun fact. I had a music video idea involving Toby pulling an important passenger train, but you know we don't want Elton John's people suing us, so let's just move on.
So, next up, we are going to the last one from Thomas and Scoops Productions. Are Harry and Hamish from Chuggington twins or brothers in your series? Yes, maybe. I don't know.
So
series never
they're
made it public.
twins and brothers.
Yeah. Next up is Abbey Road 94. Top 5 characters from your series. I think we kind of did that a few times already. So, and let's see. Sonic and Tails X asks, how does the gauging work in Cartoonia with all these with the various types of engines for different shows and parts of the world? We have the narrow gauge
Broad
trains.
gauge.
We have the narrow gauge trains, and the characters that need to re-gauge, they scrunch
We have
their
broad
leg-
gauge.
They scrunch their legs a little bit, or they do the long leg with their wheels. And next up, hey, there's a familiar guy, Mr. Thomas Fan 101. He seems rather interesting.
He sounds like a hack.
His first question is, what are some characters that will never appear in Cartoonia, and why? My Little Pony, for reasons we've already gotten to earlier.
Mighty Express, for other reasons we also gone to earlier.
Unless, I get a rigged model of Freight Nate that I can use for funnies, or quick cameras or something. Otherwise,
When will we get Paradox?
a newspaper advertisement.
JoJo characters. Make it happen. I paid you to make it happen.
No.
I guess I gotta throw
No.
a funny cameo in the next video.
Yeah, do it.
Yeah, so next up is, if you could reboot or revive any show or shows, which ones would you pick and how would you do it? That is a really good question for myself. Let me think. I'm kind of split, honestly. There's like too many of them. On the top of my head, Infinity Train definitely deserves its ending. I've not seen season 4, but after season 3, I'm just like, how can you cancel this?
I saw season 4. It was alright.
And the last one from this Thomas Fan 101 fellow is, how do you type with boxing gloves on? You have your glove, and you put it on the keyboard, and you go like... You
don't, you type with your feet.
You do a little...
Don't frickin' tell them!
So next up to the DTS workshops, they ask, firstly, on the map of Cartoonia, it said Cartoonia is connected to America, so how engines like Thomas, Ivor, and the British locals get there? Just it kind of ends there. So they get there by boat. That is...
Like what?
Yeah, we actually have a boat character we're introducing soon, but I can't say much more.
But
Next
that's
up,
I should spoil the next story.
secondly, is Sonic the Hedgehog on Cartoonia? Go read some of our comics we've done on the wiki or the community page. You will find
Plus
your answer
Shadows
there.
appeared in that. Plus Shadow appeared in a cameo, didn't he?
Yeah. So
Hey, chunks on motorcycles.
they're all there. You just gotta go watch. Would you give and lastly, would you give Pug and Ginty, Sunshine, and 10 Cents voices? I don't know. Caleb! Yo, Caleb, do you think we're gonna give Ginty and Pug voices anytime soon?
Gee, I don't know. Maybe.
Well, until then, we're gonna see the next question. Next is Champ Tuesday. Are there any character models you wish you could update? A few of them. That's all I'm gonna say. How did you decide on Crotonia's location? I wanted something kind of in the real world, kind of like a Roger Rabbit thing with Toontown, and I figured, since it's a very American kind of style sort of stuff, I kind of figured that'd be the best, like, American East Coast, and then, near to Chicago and stuff, like, right near railroading stuff, just like you. It looks fun. And Champ Tuesday, how did Meg stay alive for eons? She does her exercises just like Jim Hawkins.
No, it's magic.
Magic, Joel.
The magic of exercising.
No. It's the same reason for Wario. She doesn't feel like dying.
Nah, it's just yeah. But I think if we were to do a canon explanation, it's like there's recently one of those what if I think it's called Twisted Tales novels that Disney does. They did a really great one with Meg, and they kind of, like, a bit of spoilers for the ending. She gets like ambrosia, which is like nectar of the gods, and so she's like, oh, she's made a goddess. So that's kind of like how Herc and Meg are still alive after 2,000 years or so. And
yes.
Next up, Train Boy plays Roblox. Are you going to be making more movie? Yes.
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 The American E2 Train Boy 100 asks, since you tried making a merchandise line for the series, have you tried doing it again? Man, no. I wonder if we could ever, do merchandise or something, like, let me guys tell you, like, wouldn't it be cool if we had, like, designs like this available for people to purchase?
Yeah, it's a shame we
That
don't
does
have
sound
one.
cool
Oh well.
in theory.
People would be getting, like, all sorts of stuff, like, they could get Brucey on 2 different shirts, or, like, mugs, or whatever merchandise they like. They could do,
2?
Yeah, but, they could also get, like, Scott, our good old buddy, from the mini railway. He takes the express. But, we could also get, let people have Griff and Tiff, our 2 boating pals from Treasure of 10 Cents. People love...
Wow.
People love Livy a lot. We could, she could possibly have a shirt or something. And everybody, of course, loves Phoebe and Ralph. Who doesn't love Phoebe and Ralph?
I don't. No one asked you, heckler. Who let him back in?
And we even got,
I did!
and we've got this cool...
Oh, I did.
And we got this cool Rocher and Gray shirt with one of the cranes. And then we've got this really nice Audrey shirt. But man, like, it'd be even cool if we even have, like, all sorts of characters they could choose from, like, on one shirt. Would it be? It'd be a shame if it would be a dream if we ever had a merch shop. Oh, right, we do, and it's available at tpublic.com. Go and check out these designs, support the series, and get yourself some cool, groovy Crotunia swag. But next up, ever thought about making an origin story for Crotunia? I get this a few times. I actually did think about doing, like, a faux documentary going through the Railway's actual origins. If I'll ever finish it, or actually do a script for it, who knows? Who knows? We got a few from Adventures of Ryan. These are ones we've already done.
I just realized Griff's eyes are shaped like eggs.
Yeah.
Egg.
They look... He got them egg eyes. But, yeah, let me see what we got next. We're starting to get into frequently asked questions, but we still got a few to go through. Let me see. Deshawn, the Red Boy Odie, asks, what is the True Blue Steam Team's favorite animal? They like... I think, like... Well, Tilly's obviously got a bird, who we can be introducing soon, perhaps. And then Tracy, I think, would be probably like monkeys. There's the sock monkey. Casey Jr., elephants, obviously. And Thomas, I don't know if Thomas has had a favorite animal in the series.
Axolotl.
Probably like a
Monkey.
dog? Like a dog? I don't know. Next up, what engines are Phoebe and Ralph based on? I don't have their exact prototype names on me at the moment, but Phoebe was based on an American mining engine I was sent by a friend of mine, and then Ralph was based on a German diesel shunter.
I actually saw the real life basis for Ralph at the where was it? The what's that place that has the Thomas that was actually named Thomas by the Reverend? I can't believe I'm blanking on the name.
Neen Valley Railway.
Neen Valley Railway. Yes, I saw
Neen Valley Railway.
I saw Ralph's basis on the Neen Valley Railway.
Yeah. Next up, let me see. So, yeah, next is how did the trucks that ran into Tracy break away? The force of the surge right into the wooden buffers broke their couplings. That's how. Are we going to... RailLink6790 asks, are we going to see Montana again? Very soon. I don't know. Maybe it could be a certain someone in here animating him at the moment. RailLink also asks, when is there another special? We've had a few ideas in mind. We just gotta get the right one. That's all I'm gonna say. And let me see. Brendan Robertson asks, will Tootle have his own episode? Also very soon. Number 2, are you planning on making another Crotoonia movie? Dove into that. We've had a lot of ideas for specials and a possible actual movie. Although, this is a bit of a spoiler for April Fools. We thought about doing a joke movie for April Fools based on what we did this year. So, stay tuned.
That was still funny when we did that.
That was a ton of fun.
Yeah.
My one regret is that I didn't know until it was too late that my microphone was unplugged. So it was all coming through my desktop microphone. But I did go back and redo Homestar's lines at the end with my mic plugged in when I found out.
I personally thought it added to the experience, like kind of like the very goof posty quality to it.
Yeah. We just came up with a bunch of characters. Fun fact, when we were working on it, we just came up with a bunch of characters we wanted to have appear beforehand, and apart from like select moments, specifically narrators or announcers, it was basically improvised.
Yeah, it was just like all of us just kind of going in fully crazy with that one. And last question from Brendan is, would Eric and Jill from Little Engine That Could 1991 make an appearance in Crotoonia? I don't know what they could do. What locomotive is Audrey based off of? She is based off a GNRI Merlin class, if I'm not mistaken. Like, I don't think if the class is actually called Merlin, but the engine is known as Merlin. Or maybe it is, and I got it right.
I don't think that's it.
It is definitely called Merlin. That's the engine's name.
Hold on, let me go check.
Let me check. GNRI. Let me check the specific class. It's a Class V. A Class V GNRI. So yeah, that is what Audrey is based on. What buildings you created in Crotoonia? Many. What is your first Crotoonia video? I actually do have the test of it somewhere. So it is. If you go look on the channel history a little bit, like go really back into my uploads, you'll be able to find what we did. So moving on from Alan's questions. Let me see. Do you have plans for... Adam Shikoni asks, do you have plans for Melissa, TJ, Bonnie, or Alfred? Stay tuned very soon. And next up we got Thomas the Conjunction and Ghouls. And
Ghouls?
A lot of them are frequently asked for this one, so we've already asked, like, this was before Meg's Headliner came out. That we already discussed canceled episodes a little bit. Tales from the Docks, the special that we're doing that was going to be on DVD, we are releasing hopefully November if all goes well. So there you go. ThomasFan13 asks, when will the Refreshed series be released? We are currently looking at a November release date. I will be sharing something at the end of this stream from it as a little preview for you guys that Caleb actually worked on recently. I just need to re-download it really quick. But we are in the process of getting our first couple episodes done. We're getting some recordings done, so we're hoping to get at least a couple ready for November, if everything goes well. And it will be part of that big primetime event I teased at earlier. So I'm just going to pull up the sneaky peek really quick while we get this all set up. Where did I put it? If you can, Caleb, feel free to. Oh wait, feel free to resend that drive link so I can I can show it up.
Yeah, sure thing.
Yep. And what's your opinion on the cheesy Livy scene where Sunrise Skyrocket just crashed your cars? That is one of my personal favorites that we've done in terms of crashes and stuff. I am extremely proud of how that crash came out. That was like crashes are some of my favorite things to animate, but they can also be something that are very hard to nail. So getting that crash perfectly executed was like, mwah, beautiful. How many canceled episodes that you canceled? A lot. 24 TMNT. 2MT. We have a lot of things to go through. Who's your favorite Disney character? Moki Rat. So I think it's pretty easy to figure out which are my favorites. But also, just want to check in. You guys doing good?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I realize I've been kind of speedrunning these questions. So I'm like, shoot, I gotta get my friend's breathing room too. Oh, here's another one I've been getting throughout the chat that I think is gonna bring up some good discussion. Why does Ivor no longer have a face? So
What? I thought you did have a face.
For one episode, and then I got rid of it, and that was mostly because I realized it was very counterintuitive to what Ivor was. Ivor's whole thing is that he can communicate with whistles. We did have one who have a single speaking line in Tilly to the Rescue. I think 1 or 2 lines that were recorded by Luca, who did Henry's voice, and I realized it was kind of like, this isn't exactly Ivor, so I ultimately made the decision to remove the face, and I'm not even kidding. I actually got stalked. I got stalked for a while. Because of that, there was someone on the Wiki, and I think a couple other sites.
Long story short, 7K was just demanding to have Ivor get his face back, and he had to suffer the consequences for it.
Well, it was just it's funny because it does sum up fandom drama to a degree, or some of the things us creators occasionally go through, because you get stuff like, why isn't Ivor here? And I'm just I just didn't think it would work out in the long run. Also,
what? Why did you take away his face? He looked better with the face. I don't care if it completely defeats the purpose of his character. He needs a face. Wait, what happened to that guy again?
I think we just blocked him. I think eventually he was just
Oh, okay.
But yeah. Also, to the person who said it was their birthday, happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birth.
Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthmas.
You share a birthday with Bruno Bucciarati. You probably won't know who that is because that's a JoJo character.
Yeah. Alright, moving on. That one baboon. 2 questions. Will you do more stories with the non-railway characters? I've been, maybe possibly musing with a couple areas, but you know what they say, nothing concrete, I have ideas, but nothing super concrete yet. Maybe 1 or 2 cool ideas for a potential episode, but I have to get new models because of the thing that happened. But who knows? We'll eventually see some stuff with the other characters. But man, wouldn't it be cool? Wouldn't it be cool if we had other characters involved and more stories involving them? Wouldn't it be cool if I just showed an exclusive sneak peek picture of an idea for one episode I might do? That would just be wild. Just crazy, man.
It'd be bonkers.
And the next question, will you make more music videos? Yes, indeed. Stay tuned. Some cool stuff on the way.
I wonder what music video will happen next.
We'll just have to wait and see. But that's another story.
But that's a story for another day.
Let's move on.
Next 2 are from John's Jovial Pictures. They sound very joyful. Which cartoon? I already answered which ones took the longest. Tilly to the Rescue makes headliner. They took a few years to get done. What is your favorite color? Well, I personally like blue.
What is your favorite color?
What is the velocity of an unladen swallow?
Well, I don't know that.
No. It's gonna be I don't know that.
Yeah, you're saying Milan color?
Yeah. Yep. You can do one of the ideas we've been working around.
Is it blue?
perhaps?
Oh, mine too.
My favorite color is purple.
Pink!
Yeah, so let me see what's moving on. Dookie, what's your favorite before we move on?
I like the color green.
It's a very nice color.
Yeah.
So next up, my questions. This one's from Fletcher R. Scott. I'm trying to move to because I've also got one of my friends, Hunter. He's got questions that I want to try and get to before the stream ends, before we have to do a part 2 or anything. So so Fletcher's questions are: have you ever thought or might consider making a conductor OC of yourself for Crotunia based off your Discord logo, even though that's probably a ridiculous idea? Technically, Sir Alan's kind of my conductor OC. So that's the closest I really got. So he's kind of the closest I got to self-insert. And number 2, do you think Casey Jr. will get the spotlight next April Fools by doing something similar to Silly Songs with Larry? Because I once envisioned the results of such an idea would be hilarious, even though short-lived, even though it's probably not going to happen. I would, but fun fact, Matt Mashad, he doesn't do singing because he just I think it's like he told me he doesn't do the best job and stuff. So it's kind of like, so yeah, that's what's happening with that. And last from Fletcher, do you think you'll ever do a music video cover of Casey Jr.'s theme song with additional lyrics that would fit the original song? That would be a fun idea. I actually, Maddie Harris, who we had here earlier, he actually did a fan video with the Casey Jr. song with his own cover that you can go check out. So just look up Crotunia Casey Jr. music video. You'll find it there eventually. Next up comes from Dayton, the Thomas fan 2607. How much do you enjoy making Railside Tales episodes? Also, love the content. Oh boy, this is timed well because that content we officially kind of stopped Railside Tales. They were kind of nice to produce because they were a little bit easier to put together because you didn't have to do too much animation for them. But at the same time, it was kind of like, there wasn't too much animation to do with them, and it kind of felt like, kind of doing just classic style content was kind of like, pushing away a little bit from what Crotunia's fun is, where it's kind of like, doing more of our own thing. So while Railside Tales I definitely enjoyed making, it's kind of like, especially with the refresh going with a shorter format for episodes, I kind of felt like it was kind of like time, we got to do more of the stuff with a little more animated. So yeah, I did enjoy making them though. They were very fun to produce, and I got good people that helped out with them, like Sooty and Caleb. These two come from Gordon 4, James 5, Percy 6. 2 questions I'll answer from him. In Crotunia, can Emma transform into a boat like she did in the original Jim Button series? Also, this is not a request. I think to a degree I've thought about hinting at how she kind of did that, but it's like I'm not sure if we'd actually show it. I think it's kind of like something that she would like joke about a little bit that she used to do, but it's like with how he's more landlocked now and kind of didn't enjoy the experience too much, so something we could definitely hint at. And third question, was Phoebe in World War II?
Oh, why?
She was. I was there. I was there when the strength of man fell.
That could be for some sort of Origins episode.
Phoebe canonically was in Stories of War.
Oh no!
Phoebe the war criminal, I can't wait.
War criminal Phoebe.
Actually, you know what? That brings up a good
Germany
question.
and everyone who lives there.
Oh my god, now
Actually brings up a good idea if there could be some sort of World War II special of Crotunia.
I don't know, because simply
This
put...
is for kids. This is for kids.
And
no.
also,
I know, but...
Introduce war this
also,
early to them.
Yeah. Also, also, Victor Tanzig has not given me any confidence of ever tackling a war story. I'm not gonna dig on Crotunia, blah, 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 blah. I'm not digging on Victor Tanzig fans. I know if you guys like the content, it is okay, although the shorts leave a lot of questions. I'm just not personally a fan of Victor Tanzig, so that is my 2 cents. And there will be my 10 cents.
I do not blame you. I do not blame you. To me, Victor Tanzig is like a train wreck. You don't want to look at it, but sometimes you're just morbidly curious.
I can't look away. Exactly.
The weirder part is the fact that Ralph's a German design, the KOF 2 shunters are German. So how does that play for Phoebe, the war?
Oh no, we're getting too deep into this. Let's get to the next questions. So Darius the Tender Engine 078 Extras asks a couple questions. When will more narrow gauge engines have their own voices? Very soon as well. How big is Livy compared to the other tender engines and tank engines? She's a little bit bigger than a few of the tank engines, though she's a tiny bit smaller at the same time. So that's how big Livy is. And the last question from Darius is, ever since 2020 hit, the MMD animations got smoother and smoother. How did you make it so smooth? I think the two biggest things were playing around more with the interpolation curve, which allows, the speed of how fast, how much your motion goes, the smooth, the in and outs and stuff. But also, up until June, I was in animation college from 2018 to this June, so gaining the experience and knowledge of how to animate a bit better definitely helped me in the long run, because now I could, apply the 12 principles, understand how to improve it a lot. But, it's the best thing I can say is, definitely learn up actual animation. Don't just kind of go in head first, and learn kind of, the basics. Get the basic idea of what you want to do. And, oh my god, I just got a comment from the fellow. Phoebe is always calm, but she has Vietnam flashbacks when she's alone. Back to the questions. Steamy's 2011.
They're in the trees.
Steamy's 2011. When more Rails of Crotonin? Soon. Yo Blue Animator Studios asks, number one, I'm really credit of your crossover series. Thank you. And is Thomas, Casey Jr., Tracy, and Tilly are the favorite main characters? They do. How on earth did you create that long map, the trains, characters, everything? A lot of those are separate sets. The map I did on Photoshop, but a lot of the actual sets I did separately. So a lot of them, it's kind of like a big train layout kind of thing I pull up. Scarloy Fun asks, what shows you watched when you were a kid? I described a lot of them. Thomas, Bob the Builder, and, standard Nick Jr.'s fare, like, Dora, Blue's Clues, all that jazz. And then as it goes older, stuff like Wayside, and Skooks, Scooby-Doo. What's Scooby-Doo? Scooby-Doo! That's what I grew up with. When will you return the YTP videos? I may go out of retirement a little bit. I will admit that collab entry has made me think about doing more of those sometime soon.
I've also currently working on a YouTube poop. It's taking a while because I am a lazy boy.
Yeah, YTPs definitely do take a while.
Yeah.
Especially the kind
it's like I've heard a saying somewhere, like, drama is easy, comedy is hard, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely true in my case.
Yeah, I mean, just ask Twitter. and Hunter, I will be getting to yours if we do have to do a part 2. I will definitely answer yours before we skedaddle. So next up from Knapford Harbor, we have we'll be seeing more of Livy. Yes, very soon. Train Kid SP4449 asks, do you plan on making some of the faceless engine songs by giving the megaphones like Puffa? For example, the train from Anastasia. Possibly. We shall see if they need use. That was originally what Brucey was going to be, and then obviously we saw how he changed. And Trains Kid SP449 asks, how do you think your series would look if you used trains instead of MMD? I think, honestly, it would kind of look a bit more samey. Like, not in a dismissive way. I love trains. I wish I could actually get it to work. And there are a lot of my friends have done some amazing trains content, many of which I featured on Primetime, like Nathan, aka I Love Trains, and also Mainland, and also, and just, a lot of people I feature on Primetime, they do amazing work, but I feel like part of the fun of MMD is giving my series its own look and kind of, feel, so it's not just like, standing out a little bit, for better or for worse. Also, before we get to the next question, we have a super chat from Thomas Tank Productions. Thank you very much, by the way. Could Dragonair say ooh woo?
Me?
Yeah.
Do it.
Okay, just gotta get ready.
You're fine.
Here. If it makes you better, I'll say something for you.
Oh.
Ara ara.
Ara ara.
Oh, there's the donation thing, I think, that just went off. So.
And now.
So Sacred, you ready?
I already said it, but I'll say it again. Ooh.
She did it. She did it for the vine.
You gotta put more effort into it, like.
She will do. She will do as she pleases.
I'll do anything for you, Mr. Obama. Please, you.
Anything.
Anything for you, Mr.
Then perish.
Next, so the last question from Train Kid is, what is your favorite Crotunia music video you've made? Mine is Growing Up. Good question. I think my favorites have been Accidents Will Happen.
That's a good one.
I think Accidents Will Happen. I'm surprised that one blew up as big as it did, but I'm kind of glad because it was a very fun video to put together. I actually watched, when I was visiting my friend Maddie and our friend Joel came over, we watched it together on her 4K TV, and it was like weird because like they have surround sound. It was weird how well it turned out mixed for that. It was like, oh my god. So I was like, that one I'm proud of. I also really love doing Tilly's Seaside Trip. I'm glad that one recently, that one had like a huge blow up over the summer. Like since then, it's been kind of one of the top performing videos for like the 24-hour stuff. And I'm really glad. It was such a fun video to do. And so yeah, that's some of my favorite music videos. So, So what? So, just to check in, you guys doing good? Sorry if I've been talking.
Yeah, I'm doing good.
Okay, we'll get you a doctor in a few. Next up comes from Kyle Graham. I actually met this guy while I was in Brampton, which is another video I gotta really finish up. My Brampton adventure at the Great British Train Show. His first question is, what are some of the best parts of working on your series? Kind of went before, but again, working with the crew, getting to do what I want to do, and really improving my animation and stuff. Here's a really fun one. If you were to do a spin-off of one of the characters, which one of them would it be, and why? I think for me, I would like to do... I've actually kind of mulled around the idea of, this is partially what's happening with the Refresh, too. We're not going to change from, the Railways of Crotunia to just Crotunia or something, but I debated, if we did, a what-if kind of thing, if, we did another series, the Waterways of Crotunia, or the Construction or the Roadways of Crotunia. But it's
Ooh.
But again, I think expanding Crotunia from being just the railways would be to, more stuff is the fun part of doing the Refresh. We have... some of these ideas were being molded with the 10-minute episodes as well, but, we have an episode at the demolition site. We had the ocean liner episode I kind of teased a bit. And Dookie wrote an excellent one with Theodore and Ariel that I hope we can kind of get to eventually.
Ooh.
It's fun. I did a lot of research for that. The whole, tugboat series binged in a week.
And the last question from Kyle is, will your series still be around for the next 10 years?
Hopefully.
It depends.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
And these are...
Only time will tell.
The Railfan asked a few character requests, but there's one that's actually very fun that I can dive into. Is there an Ulfstead Castle in the show? If so, where is it? So I've actually shown this a couple times. Let me see if I can find it from the archives. But in Rust Gets Rollin', the fairground set that we had for the flashback to the fair that Stepney went to, that was actually a new location I developed a long while back for it was for something that was going to be a DVD tentpole. Let me try and get it up. So this was a scrapped Crotunia idea for a DVD special that was going to be a few episodes with an interconnected story, kind of like the Thomas tentpoles. So this is Ink Bellaria Castle. I'm sharing it in the stream really quick. I'll see if I can actually get another... I think I had a couple more images, but they might have gotten lost on the...
Lost in the void.
Yeah, they might be stuck on my old laptop. But let me see if I can pull it up for you guys to look at too. So it's it's something I definitely want to explore more very soon if I can. But it's again, just kind of only time can tell when we'll dive into it again.
Only Tim will tell.
But yeah.
Only tell with time.
And next up, Tack asks a few questions. Is the Railway series a part of Crotunia? We are in the TV series timeline. Who do you think is faster, Spencer, Coco, or Montana? Coco.
Toby.
And then 3.
Oh, Tobias.
Guys, let's be real. The fastest engine on Crotunia is very clearly
Shuckle.
Webby Vanderquack with a push car.
And number 3, Smudger. Just Smudger.
Wait.
On one of those.
Yep, I have that soundbite.
Yeah. This is one I'll answer. This is one I'm going to answer from Jeffrey. I hope I got that right. He's a fan of mine. He sent me like some fan stuff every once in a while. He's a very good kid. One of his questions I will answer from him is: in your April Fool's movie trailer, there was Kana and Freight Nate. So will they be appearing in the Rails of Crotunia in future? Because I've thought up a story about Tilly, Kana, and Tilly. And will the other characters from Mighty Express and the other new characters from All Engines Go be appearing too by any chance? I've already kind of said my thoughts a bit about Mighty Express. All Engines Go is very tricky territory to get to because it is so radically different. But
unless we make like Mull's series of the egg exclusive characters, don't expect them to appear anytime soon.
Eggs.
The only thing I will say though, and this is a bet my streak and the gang have kind of put with me, that I've set with them, I will do the popcorn car from Mighty Express if someone commissions me.
The what?
The popcorn car from Mighty Express.
The popcorn car.
So,
what does that car look
the
like?
corn. It looked like a hopper car, if I remember.
It is literally, it's literally a popcorn bin, except it's like a freight car. That's all it is. So
That sounds funny.
we are in the 20 minute. We're in the 20 minutes. We're in 20 minutes. We gotta go. Gotta charge through. Are you gonna at least use the superchargers from Dino Trucks? Asked Brian Crawford. I do not know who the superchargers are. Can you go back to doing music videos without singing yourself? We'll have some solos soon. Will Stop and Hat become Miss Karina Ella's assistant? They're their own girl bosses. And Rhapsody. Yeah. Oh, Lucky?
Sorry, go on.
You first?
Yeah, I was just wondering, have we decided on a voice for Sir Topham Hatt?
I kind of thought the CG series.
Shabish. I need you to go to the
Hire the Kipper
I mean,
runs
voice-
again.
A voice actor.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out down the road. We gotta get a new model first, though. But next up, Rhapsody Blue voice acting. What is the one project you're most proudest of? I think Tully to the Rescue, because it was such a massive undertaking and just kind of like this big project that was like beyond anything I could really do. There was definitely some, tech issues as it was kind of hurried to the finish line a bit, but just the fact I was able to make basically a 30-minute movie is still like, oh my god, I did that. Next up comes from Two Blue Tender Engines. Is there Lords of the Crotunia series? Go to the wiki. You will find it all there. Steam.
Yeah.
Oh, Steam D51. I think this is the birthday fellow we had in the chat. Do you think it's a cool crossover with other machines? I think it is pretty cool. I think it's cool too, because the fun of Crotunia is again just not like focusing on just trains, which I feel a lot of crossovers tend to do. We get like machines, and we get like human characters, and these mythical characters. It's fun stuff we get to do with this, and I definitely like showing different kinds of machines working together.
Eldritch characters.
I don't know about that. That's a little too spooky for us. But yeah, it is very fun. Zachman18, hello, good to see you. They've got a few questions. Overall thoughts on Egg. Do you guys want to add to this, or should I just do this one myself?
I'll add to it. I'll say this: All Engines Go, I think, is a decent kids show. It's for cartoon about trains. It's all right. I have nothing against it. However, once I remember, this is supposed to be Thomas the Tank Engine, then I remember it doesn't really work. Like, I don't really see it as Thomas, but it's okay. It's an okay show. It's just not Thomas. And for the love of God, stop calling it seasons 25 and 26.
That's what I'm saying.
Also, hello, Jonathan. How you doing? I just saw Jonathan join the chat. But yeah, I guess for my thoughts on Egg, a lot of them I'm saving for a video I'm doing Thursday a little bit, but also like the big review that I've been kind of procrastinating recording. As a Thomas reboot, it's a mess, and it's very much understandable why a lot of people don't like it. But I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of becoming a fan. I like the toys. I like how they take certain characters. Some of the songs are pretty decent, but I also understand like certain things that people don't like about it. Like there's some of the catchphrases are kind of lame, and I'm glad they're kind of cutting down on the wheel hands a lot with the new episodes, and like occasionally. Oh yeah.
Sorry.
You first?
Go on.
Yeah, I guess.
I was gonna say.
You first? You back? Oh no.
All right, I'm just gonna say. In the third episode of Random Railway Tales, I actually do somewhat make fun of the All Engines Go catchphrases. There at least one of them.
Yeah, I think the worst one was from the Ashima episode, which, spoilers, I'm gonna do a review of for Thursday if I can get it
Wait,
done.
she appears.
What was the worst? What was the worst catchphrase?
An egg.
Yeah, Ashima. Ashima. Turns out we've been saying it wrong the whole time. So, thanks a lot, Brenner era. But it's like, but it was like they're, like Nia at one point goes, "You know what'd be totally train awesome?" And I internally I was just like, "Never say that again, please." I will say, I will say really quick, it is very telling that out of the, I think 10 episodes have come out so far for season 2, if I'm not mistaken, there have only been 2 episodes I would call mid, and unlike the Nitrogen and Bwaba eras, there's no episodes I can call really terrible. Like, the worst they kind of get is just sort of generic and kind of forgettable. But it's like, it's kind of like, it is a series I really enjoy, and I appreciate the work that has been going into it, even if there's been some misguided stuff. And I say this not only because I'm a fan, but also to give a bit of a surprise. I'm recording something this Thursday with a certain someone who may or may not be on the crew of All Engines Go.
Ooh.
So you can stay tuned to that. Oh god, the catchphrases are in the chat.
No.
You know what? That's it.
I'm turning evil! You are not my friends anymore!
No, stop! But
What is that from? That sounds like it's a parody.
It is, but it also isn't.
What is it?
I forgot what it is, but I'll look it up.
Rosalina BGR fan 4509 asked, "Will the Miku tugboat character appear more? Because she's one of my favorites."
Nah.
What?
Sadly, not anytime soon.
What?
Anyways, next question.
What? No.
Back to Miku Tugboat.
Kyrie,
You need to explain this to me.
you watch Treasure of 10 Cents. You'll get the context from that.
It's a long story, my friend.
Kyrie's Productions, one of my patrons, hello. He asked me, "Will you ever do a movie?" We kind of discussed. I'd like to do a cartoony movie at some point, just gotta get the right plot. What is it like in Canada? Depends on the season. We have had a very, very warm summer, early fall, but it's getting nice and cool for the fall now, so it is very nice. And number 3, will we ever see more of Wilson, Brewster, and Coco? Very much yes, stay tuned. Sabretooth 3 Studios HQ asked, "How do you make the characters and locations in your series, and which character or location do you like the most?" Kind of already dive into how I make them. I do them on SketchUp and then rig them up in PMX Editor. And then, my favorite character stuff. I think location-wise, some of my favorites have been Cliffstone Center Quarry, which I want to do more of soon. Any of the docks locations we've done. And then a lot of the seaside locations we've introduced recently have been nice, like Coastal Junction and like the coastal cliffs. Just like, and then kind of like diving into some more countryside towns like Cliffstone Valley. There's a lot of ones I really enjoy working with. And another question this person asked is, "Are you a toxic or horrible person, or no?"
What?
Excuse.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. How can? All right. I'm just gonna say this. Milan is all right. I'm not saying that he's a god and he can do no wrong, but I'm just saying anyone who thinks that he's a toxic person,
you need to get your eyes checked. I think
there's a magical thing called grass. I feel like you should touch it.
I'm just
touch it now.
It's how forward it is. Just like, "Are you toxic and horrible?" How am I supposed to
I
respond?
think they
to
just
that?
want to make absolutely sure.
Yeah, just like, don't worry, don't worry, I don't bully people on Twitter because they bought a shirt. unless it's a shirt that's actually terrible. So
yeah, like if it's a shirt
Lucky,
I
found the video.
All right. If it's a shirt that's advocating for violence against people who are different than you, then yes, bully someone for wearing that shirt. But other than that, Milan is one of the nicest people I know.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess moving on, we have Tom Tank Productions. They asked a few questions. Do you often use Blender for some shots in Crotoonia? Or is every shot filmed entirely in MMD? Entirely in MMD, but I have used Blender to port a couple models over. And he also asked, will you write more stories for the True Blue Steam team? Stay tuned. And we've already talked about the original characters, so yeah. When are Chatsworth and Arthur going to appear? I don't want to say anything just
Depends on which Arthur you're talking about, because we got the Thomas Arthur and the Arthur.
Yeah, because, I'm not sure how to say it, like, every day when you're walking down the street, and everybody that let me see if I can find it, but I will reveal a little bit of a reveal. I have been talking recently with a certain somebody about including certain characters. I just need to find where the pictures got posted. My friend...
If there's Chatsworth, Harrison has to be there. That's contractually out.
Yes. We need Wilson's dads.
Yeah, we need Harrisworth.
So my friend Ruben, he actually showed them off the other day. I wish I could get the link up. Ba-boom. But I've been talking to someone who has he's actually been showing off certain things. So I have to pick up the pics in a bit. But I will hint what kind of stuff we're working on a little bit. This is something I actually put together a couple days ago. I think I shared it in the chat with the crew. But look who's this we've got here? Is it perhaps the funny yellow crane chugger?
Skylar?
Yeah, I'm showing him right now. So, oh man, I am trying to speed this up a little bit because we are running out of time a little bit. I gotta get, because I do have to start getting going in about 10 minutes to visit my dad's a little bit. So I'm gonna try and answer a few more questions. So I'm gonna try and answer a few more before we have to call this a part 2. I guess
if you have Skylar, Rosa isn't far behind.
I have Rosa as well.
Bring back my queen.
Yee!
So, but yeah, I guess really quick while we're answering questions, if there is a preferred day for a part 2 for people for our little Q&A spectacular, please let me know.
Maybe Friday?
A Friday could work depending on how my schedule's looking. So
or Saturday.
Friday's the birthday.
Oh, let me see. I gotta check. I think I might. The only thing I think that might be going on is I think I've got work. So, but I'm going to. So we'll post part 2. Well, so chat can answer 2. Friday is possibly a no-go because I've got work that night but if there's another day this week or even next week that you guys prefer, please let me know. So next up, let's speed run a little bit through. So going off, where does Molly work? Molly is kind of a mixed traffic engine. She kind of lives at the Selgrip City Sheds. Do you have any plans for side Dream Fleet engines to support or lead a role in a future episode? I have considered some stuff. Wait and see. NBC Mekachu says, what's a show you recall growing up with that you don't hear talked about much in present day? I don't know a single person that remembers Dagata Defenders. I never watched it much, but it was a big thing on Teletoon.
I never really liked it.
Yeah, it was kind of like when Teletoon was kind of pushing a lot of those action cartoons for a little bit. It's funny because now we're kind of like, where's all the action cartoons on TV? And there was like a period where there was just like a ton of them, and it just got oversaturated. And all of them were like toy stuff. Like who remembers Bakugan?
I don't.
I know it existed. That is the extent of my knowledge on Bakugan.
If you had to sacrifice one of the IPs currently in use on Crotoonia, which one would it be?
What?
If I had to sacrifice one of the IPs currently in use on Crotoonia, which would it be?
IP?
I guess like character or like franchise.
What?
Listen, I don't have a sacrificial table set together. You gotta get a knife, you gotta get like the fire pit, you gotta get like, you gotta get a cult together, and you gotta get like, you gotta go get the giant monkey that's gonna take the sacrifice. And then the monkey's the monkey's gonna go fight some dinosaurs for a little bit, and then he's gonna be taken to Broadway, and he's gonna do the old razzle dazzle.
Monkey.
Next up, Engine Boy 53 Productions asks, have you ever thought about doing a story involving the narrow gauge engines? Lots of them in mind. Stay tuned. We actually have one kind of set near their location coming very soon for Meet the Crotonians. If there's a TTTE model prop from the original series you want to own, Which one would it be? Any of the boats. Like any of the big cargo ships or any of the tugboats. That's...
The Buats.
Yeah, just that's all I'm gonna say. Maybe even Bulstrode.
Buats.
What are your plans for a new original character? We've got lots. Stay tuned. Next up comes from Friendboy and Friends. How many accidents occur on Crotunia's railways each year?
1,000 a year.
It's over 9,000!
What, 9,000?
67.
There's no way that could be right.
It's 1,006. No, wait, sorry, I had it upside down.
421. That's how many accidents there are.
Luna de Magica asks, is the main series getting more episodes after the first 4? Yes, in the refreshed format. We're going to try and get a few more of them done a little more often if we can, but there's more main stuff coming soon. Toodle episode is also on the way, and we've already done favorite Thomas characters. Henry number 3 Gaming Films asks, what is your favorite rock band? I like the band with rocks.
Beatles.
Today, the men were blasting rock.
I'm not really a rock person.
Next
I don't. I guess, but like, I don't know if my favorite song counts as metal or rock or whatever.
I guess
It depends.
I do like Queen. That's my answer. So
Yeah.
next up, Trainboy17. We have 5 minutes. I'm gonna speed run a bit because I also get to get to Hunters. Got any ideas for characters that have backstories? We kind of talked about that. If you want to render any real life locomotive that has been a character yet in Crotonia, who would it be? There is one in my hometown on the riverfront I would like to model at one point, but I can't give it away just yet.
Hang on, if we're speedrunning this, can I play the theme from Busy Going Backwards?
Sure. Pass it to me. I'm gonna. You know what? Oh wait,
No, I have it.
Oh, perfect. I can just.
No, better idea. Do the speedrun theme from SMP.
I don't have that one. I have the Busy Going Backwards theme. That's all I got.
Sad.
You know, if we spend too much time talking about how to do the speed running, we won't have enough time to do
Turn it down, turn it down to time it. Let's go. Yeah, turn it down. Turn it down. Oh no! The volume!
What?
The volume's low!
Oops, sorry.
It's all good. Just turn it down a little bit.
Yeah, just turn me down or something.
Let me see. I'll tone you down a little bit. I just gotta restart the theme so I can do the speed run.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. Okay. Trumbo 17. What favorite roles, whether America, the UK, Japan, etc. I like going on the video reel. I went there for Brampton. Very cool. Cyan 2K8 Productions. What is your favorite Thomas character? Thomas Movie. We've already talked about that. Thomas Movie. One of my favorite Thomas movies is Journey Beyond Sodor. I think it's really good, really underrated. Blake White, number 1. Are you gonna make another Ramblings? Very soon. 2. Are you and your friends gonna make another Levels of Hell? Sacred. How many Levels of Hell do we got currently in production?
There is one that is very close to finishing production, and there are quite a few others. There's one that has started production, sort of. There's definitely a backlog that I've been working on. It's kind of been impeded by real life stuff and whatnot, but I assure everybody, all the fans of the series, we are working on that, and I'm working on it the best I can, and there's definitely one that is like 80-90% finished at this point.
We screened it a couple weeks ago. It's gonna be really good.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Just gotta work out all the kinks, that's all.
Yeah. And back to the speed run. Okay, so next up, Amazing Adventures of Watto. Do you know the Unlucky Tug? He does amazing content. I think some of his videos are pretty good. Do you read the Bible of the Railway series? I don't have the Bible of the Railway series, but I have the original first 26 books in the compilation. I got it from my grandpa for my birthday many years ago. It was very good. God rest in peace to my grandpa. How come every cartoon character except TT characters in the show? Because I could. Oh, this one's from Lightning. He's a good friend of mine. I know everybody and their grandma is going to ask, how are you? But I want to know, how do you want to feel? Actually, let's pause the speed run for a sec. I want to answer this one. I'll extend this a couple minutes because I actually want to answer this one. Like, do you want to feel better, worse, happier? It's a convoluted question, but ding dang nabbit, I'm sticking with it. I think at the end of the day, it's just like, I tend to get really stressed and anxious with a lot of different things kind of going on with my life. You know, kind of like right now, like I'm speedrunning because I'm going to my dad's for a sec to visit after I'm done this and, you know, figure out when's the best time to do the next stream, which might be Thursday. So, yeah, at the end of the day, I just want to feel peaceful. That's kind of what I want to be. Okay, back to speedrun.
We've only got a minute.
If All Engines Go hasn't been assassinated but remarket Thomas and Thomas Trinfinitos, and the big corporation was there to remind you to do a Thomas reboot, how would you go about doing it? I would not just do Railway Series adaptations. I think a lot of what Egg has done is pretty okay. It just needs a bit more fine-tuning, a bit more of what Thomas is, but I think they're doing a pretty decent job. 2, what's your favorite fizzy lifting drink? Fizzy drink. I like Fanta. It's pretty good. Thank you, by the way, for asking Lightning. Always enjoy your stuff on Twitter. TrickyFan 2000, will Puffa get a speaking role? Are Phoebe and Ralph related? No, they're not. Puffa might get a speaking role later. How many are there in Rose Cartoonia? There's a lot. Lenny Delancey, can you add Fraggleback to Cartoonia? I'll mainly use the music, but not Fraggleback itself. Can you add me to Cartoonia? I don't know what your thing is, Lenny. Can you make a story about Thomas, Percy, and me? I don't know what your character is, Lenny. Tyler Rectus. How many people do you got working on the show? 3 animators, and a lot of voice actors, a few music people. How'd you get involved with Channel Frederator? I found their YouTube network. I figured it was worth a go, wanted to make a lot of money with doing what I love, and they've been incredibly supportive. I've been working with them since 2015. Really great people. How do you animate Rose Cartoonia? With my hands. Tom the Train Engine. Are you okay with people making head accounts for OCs? Since you're apparently... ships are okay, just don't go overboard. Since you're apparently in contact with some of the people that put the DCL2 group toy line. Do you know when more toys will release? Soon! What's Audrey's say for Davis? Okay, I'm gonna mark that for the last one. Before we go, I'm going to answer my good buddy, my good amigo, HunterTube's questions. We are going to get to everybody else's tomorrow. Well, not tomorrow. We're gonna try and I don't know if tomorrow would work. Maybe it could work, but maybe Thursday could work better. I don't know. We'll see what chat thinks.
It'll work for me because I mean, my work hours mean I could, but it's like I'll probably be a bit tired and wanting to rest afterwards.
Oh, gotcha. So probably Thursday or...
Yeah, Thursday.
I work on Thursday.
Okay. We could...
I mean, you guys could go on without me if you want
Which is a good thing, because I don't have...
Yeah, I don't know if I'll be able to make the next one.
The other half of the day.
You know what? What we could do, it might be worth even doing it next week if it works out for everybody. Like next week, same time.
Yeah, that could work.
Yeah, because
We'll see how we do.
Yeah, because we've got a lot of questions we can do, and the frequently asked took up a good chunk of the first part of this, and I wanted to give some more time for people. So I'm just going to quickly text my dad, then we're going to conclude with my good buddy HunterTube's questions.
Questiones.
Yeah.
But yeah, so HunterTube's first question is, what are your thoughts on my series, Thomas's Trackmaster Adventures? Mainly the ones I've seen so far. I think it is a very fun series. I think part of the fun of doing primetime is getting to see not just my friends' projects, but also seeing different kinds of styles and stuff, and seeing your series gradually improving over time with all these different things, different elements and learning along the way. It's been really fun. I think you do pretty good with it.
If I'm gonna be brutally honest, it looks mid.
Hey, let's not put people down.
Well, it is.
How would you feel if someone called your stuff mid?
I wouldn't really care.
Well, I hope the person on the other side feels the same way, because it's like, do you want to be mean? I think HunterTube does great stuff. I first got attached to HunterTube stuff because of his Chuggington videos, and I thought he did pretty great with them. So, and again, I think the Milantoon the Halls entry he did, was really great. So, I'm really enjoying what HunterTube's been doing. His second question is, why do you have both packaging variants of the Trackmaster Golden Thomas pack? They were both presents from, I think, different people. I think the newest one, the one with the current style guide, that was from my friend Colson, I believe. I forgot who gave me the one with the pre-redesign packaging. I think it might have been my mom or somebody else. I can't remember. Shoot. And the last question, and a perfect time to plug a certain thing. Since Cartoonia DVDs are no longer a thing, does that mean the footage from Lost Tracks will end up on YouTube? Well, they have in a way. However, your only way to see them is to go to my Patreon, where you can not only get a look at the full Lost Tracks documentary we got that was originally done for the Tilly to the Rescue DVD and later repurposed for the Lost Tracks DVD, but also you can get access to a lot of the models and sets that we use for our series. We just released Brucey alongside that. We have a pack featuring Scott, the Selgrip City Sheds, and Chipperton Wharf. We also have another pack we recently released back in June with Livy and Trench from the Big Branch Build storyboard book, and Gloucester, along with Coastal Junction, Virginia Bay, and a few other locations. Audrey's also available, along with Phoebe and Ralph. And there's even more character. And we actually have plans, hopefully by the end of the month, to release some new stuff from the series. I'm currently deciding what will release next, but those are some things you can keep in mind to help support the series and, get access to exclusive stuff on our Discord. We post progress of new episodes all the time there whenever we can. Some shorts are premiered exclusively through there, and it's generally a pretty good spot. So if you want to support the series and get some free stuff, it is over there, and that's where you'll find the Lost Tracks footage. So, on that note, let me go really quick, see how many questions we still have left from that. I'm realizing, I think Hunter was the last person that submitted comments for the video, but oh man, we still got, oh man, I'm hoping we can get this all into a two-parter because we have a ton more questions to get through. Again, I did not expect...
We've got plenty.
I did not...
So we're gonna do this again next week?
Yeah, I think probably the best way we're going to do this is because between my work and also with a few videos coming out this weekend, and also a big thing on Thursday, it's probably going to be best if we do this next week, same time. So I'm going to...
Yeah.
So once the stream wraps up, I'm going to quickly set up a part 2 stream for this for next week, same time. And,
all right.
But before we get going, I do want to say really quick a couple words. Thank you guys so much for joining me for my official 10th anniversary today. It is...
Oh, I thank you.
It's honestly... especially
there's no problem at all.
Yeah, because I think Lockie's also been like the longest Crotunia crew member beyond a few people. So it's just like... having you here especially and letting you be able to make it was really nice.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
Very fun here.
It's like, it's really weird realizing my channel's been going on for this long and we've gotten... this kind of an audience for it over the years. Like, I think we just hit 27,000 subscribers the other day. And I'm just like, being able to do what I do and create fun stuff for my audience, it's just like, it's cheesy, but it genuinely makes it worthwhile through and through. So to everybody who has tuned in for tonight and who has submitted questions for the stream, thank you guys so much for joining me and for also joining the Discord and supporting the channel, and if you threw super chats in. So we're going to do the same thing next week, same time, Tuesday at 6 p.m. Just a time for us to start our Halloween celebrations here. And thank you to our audience for joining me for this fun 10th anniversary celebration. I'm just going to quickly put a part 1 to the title, so everyone's going to come back next time, along with a link for Christian's music, so you can go check them out. And then, and I think, before we go, anyone want to say anything?
No, I'm good. Actually, I will say, watch Thomas's Random Railway Tales. Episode 3 is in the works. And thank you all for coming to the stream and supporting Milan. And yeah, I think that's about it.
Yeah. Anything you guys want to add?
Live your best life.
Mm-hmm.
The best way to do it.
Yes.
Yes.
And until we see you guys next week to catch up on what we missed from the questions, we'll see you guys later, and hope you got some popcorn ready, because it's going to be about the same length, if not longer than this one. Alright, and we shall see
Wait. And remember, children...
The clown kills you!
Huh.
Okay.
And we hope to see you guys next time we see you guys. So have a safe night, everybody, and we'll see you for the next 10 years.
Good night.
Goodbye!
Good night! Night.